Dale McDonald taking off right now. It is absolutely crack-a-lacking. So again, the sportsman's through now. There is a gaggle of side-by-sides. Nigel Pearce is through. In the 469 is the first of those trophy trucks. I tell you what, we got a very fast Class 8, the 833 of Chris Wyden. That is actually a midi patrol. Have a look. Getting loose over there. So again, nice little run there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if we're just getting cracking, welcome to the Comiskey Mining Services 300. Again, big shout out from the guys from Comiskey Mining Services. Again, more cars off the line. We've got another one of our Class 8s. That'll be Josh Marks and Tim White in the 863 coming through the field now. And again, have a look at this. That is truck. Some of these Class 8s are going to be very quick. John Madarom in the 469 also going through there. Again, holy moly, that looks like Sheedy on a charge there. And I tell you what, he's getting a little bit loose there. That's Michael Ranson, Blake Rogers in that very fast Class 5 car, 507, the Performance Door Slammer. It's basically a trophy truck, but with a tin roof and opening doors. I tell you what, it is a cool bit of gear. Again, Michael Ransom, Rogers in. Next is going to be the 527 of Tyler Human, the Hillbilly Boys. Earth Moving Equipment Australia, the sponsor of that. They got the Hilux running the Chev. That's been around a long time. Again, the team. Got the trophy truck as well. Next up is going to be the 648 of Tammy Daly and Emma Daly in the passenger seat. So the all-female Can-Am team, the Dailies. Again, K and J Daly's Racing doing a great job there. The 690 of Luke Brandon and Robin Brandon is going to be right behind them. Again already. So again, if you've just joined us, this is a reverse grid starting order. So you are seeing, I don't want to say the slow guys because there's absolutely no slow guys out here at the moment. But I tell you what, you're going to see the trophy trucks, the pro buggies, all the big stuff coming up very shortly. And they're going to work their way through the field. Again, Luke Brandon out of the way there now in the 690. And we've also got Kane Pritchard in the 694. In the passenger seat. Again, beautiful turned out Can-Am as a big set of lights glow coming down into the river. Again, we're going to have a gaggle of side-by-sides coming through here. Bryce Derrick, 696 is also in there. Jason Bennett with Dane Allison in the passenger seat is going to be in the 676. Leela Chapman in a 616. There you go. That's great. Chapman's Dyno Tuning. I didn't realize they had a side-by-side. Leela racing a turbocharged Pajero in Class 8 for a lot of years. So very cool. We also have off the line, thanks to Mickey B Racing Developments. Big shout out to Mickey, giving us a little bit of phone coverage there. Again, this is a bit of a new shot for the Dirtbags podcast, boys, having a bit of a crack. Big shout out to everyone at home. Again, you can have a chat on the live feed on both Facebook and YouTube. So get on there, give us a comment, give us a question. We'll do our very best to answer it. Big shout out to Mikey Zaka. Good to have you listening along. Again, off the start line. Over there, what do they call it? Ceremonial start on the bitumen. So the idea there is that they actually don't race until they're under the timing gates. But again, plenty still going on here. So again, all the side-by-sides off the line. We're cranking. Darren Brandon's off the line. Brett Glazebrook, Justin Ryder. Now, there's another name that is very fast. Stuart Zielinski used to race the Brumby, the world beater, and the 670. Kevy Knott is actually racing in a 6178. So in a side-by-side, Kevy Knott getting ready to field here in the creek. Righto, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're just working through a few audio issues here on site. Hopefully nothing wrong with the live feed cranking along at home. It's all happening. But again, we are racing off the line here. The ceremonial start on the bitumen. We've now got some 10 cars. I tell you what, that is an exciting class. The 10s, they've got a limited motor in there. But down in the creek, we've still seeing side-by-sides coming through, charging. Again, I've got my eyes peeled for Hannah Bentley in the Class 4, the Racer Engineering two-wheel drive trophy truck. But we've got a pass right in front of us here at the commentary box. I tell you what, a great shot there as the side-by-side sneak past. Have a look at the helicopter flying low. What a great race this is at the Don River. Bowen is absolutely turning it on. Perfect weather. So again, the side-by-sides racing through the creek. But again, I'm looking down to the ocean side, the east, having a look for that Class 4 that's going to be coming very quickly here in a second. So again, have a look at this. Some of these side-by-sides, they're making a real charge here early, and it's going to be a good opportunity for them to get some distance between the trophy trucks, the pro buggies. Again, ladies and gentlemen, get on board. Get on the Facebook page. Get all the information. Let us know who you think is going to have a win. Is it going to be a pro buggy? Is it going to be a trophy truck? Oh, won't be a motorbike. That's a bit harsh. I don't know about that. We've got some very fast. We've got the King of the Desert here this year, which is pretty exciting, Davey Walsh. And we've also got what would be known in the 2000s as the real King of the Desert, Ben Grabham. So I tell you what, and we've also got some returning competitors. Liam Walsh is here. Now, look, there's that trophy truck that I was talking about. That will be the Bentley Class 4 car. Beautifully turned out car. Hannah Bentley, Cooper Johns in the passenger seat, both out of South Australia. Righto, again, few of our 10 cars coming through. Keep a good eye on these. Actually, there's another Bentley car. So Sam Bentley in the 1018, Rick Ireland in the passenger seat, both out of South Australia. Right behind them should be Declan Cummins, 1005. So 4 numbers on the roof of these cars. We also had Christian Montesalvo and Ashton for the Patriot Campers. Guys came through in the 1088 and the 1057 of Darren Rath. Chris Sollett was out there as well, very fast. Let's call him a local, close enough. Steve Orr, 1051. There's a name that I know from racing a Class 5 car. So Steve Orr now racing in a 10 car. The 51 it was. So a great ride there. And again, I'll say it a few times, but a big shout out to the Comiskey Mining Services crew. They have come on board as the major sponsor. We have some amazing sponsors this weekend. And as you all know, it just cannot happen without all the people involved in it. Benjamin Power also coming through in the 1067. The 1026 of Braden Misford. Jet Woodley in the passenger seat. Now there's a little super light, I tell you what. That'll be the 1067 single seat. And again, right behind him should be the Misford car. Actually, that might be the 37. He's made some positions up there, so he's actually moved through the field already. That's Trevor Chandler. I know that car. Nice little Razor. Oh, sorry. I think it's a Jimco. Now this is an Ursig built truck. So this is Trevor Chandler, ECE. So again, Misfits. That was a Razorback, a big Razorback as a 10 car. I do like that. And then the 666, sorry, the 691 that will be. So we've actually lost Stephen Von Peen, looking for the trophy truck, but not seeing it at all. So that's a nice little run there. Again, a couple of our very fast side-by-sides, the 691 Richard Tassin. And now keep an eye on the 666. This is Kai Camilleri. Oh, and there's a long side-by-side too. That'll be Keith Daly. That's the 1105. So a long wheelbase side-by-side. Again, very common over in the USA. They run a lot more of that style of racing. Oh, off the line by the looks of that. We just saw a flash of it. That was the Element. So again, some of the pro buggies coming through now. Very excited to see that. Oh, now it looks like an Ultra 4 Joshy right there. So that would be the 11. They're running in an invitational. So I'm not sure who that is. It could be Bruce Fraser, I think, in the 1162. James Sant will also be coming. Now, looking at that, that could be, I reckon, a Super Boot RV2. That might be Aaron Phyllis's car. Now, I apologize. There's a few cars. Wow, now that's an Ultra 4. That is very cool. IFS front Ultra 4. I tell you what, as it shoots across the screen, having a look at that, that's the Shane McNabb. David Kempston is in the passenger seat. So, oh, yeah, that's Design Fab, Dave Kempston. So that's good. Righto, next up will be the Muir trophy truck. This is a brand new trophy truck for them. Dave Muir at the wheel, was racing a Class 10 car, and they're now in a Geezer Brothers trophy truck. Have a look at that. Nicely turned out car. And I tell you what, I don't mind that paint scheme there, young Joshua. It kind of reminds me of a certain Concrete Motorsports look that is very popular and very fast over in the USA. So I do like that. Drew Chandler. Oh, sorry, Calendar is going to be next up in the 127, I believe. And again, then we've got Ian Baker in the 146. That's the other RSL guys. Those guys are completely awesome. I reckon that might be the RSL car right there. So Ian Baker going through in the 146, and then Rowan Clark in the 128. Wayne Smith in the passenger seat. Have a look at this. Charging very hard over in the far side of the riverbank. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they will be coming back towards us and hitting this finish line jump over here. It is a jump that has had some serious action over the time. Again, Brett Baker, the 124 coming through as well. Darren Angel will be coming through in the 160 out of Queensland. Chris Colburn is racing his little Jimco, the VQ35 NA powered car. Very fit, fast car. Has done a fair bit of time navigating for Mick Marson. Have a look. Here it comes here. This beautiful little turned out Jimco. Again, that will be the Angel car in front of it. Little checkup. I tell you what, Josh, I'm excited to see some of these trophy trucks come through this big river dip. I reckon we're going to see some full sends off this. Oh, and here's the first of our Elements. So this is Royden Bailey out of South Australia. Very cool. There is 4 Elements here racing this weekend. Royden Bailey, beautifully turned out car. Had a big shakedown at Fink. Aaron Havey up here as well, the designer and builder and current Australian #1. Oh, big set. Oh, my goodness. Getting loose over the back, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! That's how it's done. So Michael Fittler having a good run there. Chris Weston in the Rush truck that looks like a buggy. Now Drew Callender in the 99 after him, I believe. That'll be a Razorback. That's the DAC Mining Services. Tell you what, how good is it hearing those V8s charge through the Don River in the morning? I tell you what, it is an exciting thing. Now, I tell you what, Jason Keane getting very keen as well. Have a look at this. Big send off. Gee, well set up though. That car looks very comfortable. Again, Russell Hartnett in the passenger seat. That could be the ex-Hartnett Jimco, I feel. 2000 series. I've got a Chev in it though. LS, if you want to rev it, Chev it. Richard Harkin in the 86 coming through now. One of the older Jimco 2000s. Still a super solid car. Shane Hartnett in the passenger seat. Again, a 2000 series. Got an LS2 in it. 6 litre. Now, this is one of our first trophy trucks, the 466. Not a sticker on it. It is a Rush truck. I tell you what, good shots too online on YouTube of the Patriot trophy truck, the Get Performance truck off the line. So, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your belt buckles. We're about to go trophy truck racing. It's going to be a good day here in Bowen. Rob Wearing off the line again. Sorry, not off the line. Down in the river running this plain white Rush truck. So that is the 466 running over there. Lachlan Wearing in the passenger seat. Behind him, we've got Darren Mott with Tim McClelland in the 435. Tell you what, it's going to be exciting to see a few of these cars. There's a ton of different cars out here. So that's actually a... interesting. That looks like a Mickelfab truck to me. Got a later model. Well, here's another Mickelfab truck. Michael Denham. That's the Transvent Spiral Tubing. Daniel Adam in the back seat in the 433. Beautifully turned out truck. Tell you what, it sounds strong too as it charges through the river. Damien Saunders next up in another Rush TT. Number of these Rush trucks out here. Oh, I tell you what, then there's another Mickelfab truck right behind it. That is Ivan Robinson in the 471. Rowan Robinson in the passenger seat. Mickey Thompson tyres. Now, right behind them, I can hear a turbo. That's got to be Paul Human in the 427, the Razorback version. Interesting, a couple of turbo trucks here. Sorry, we just had a little wind blow through the commentary box and caused us some chaos, but we are back and sorted. Now, again, that looked like going through there was Stephen Kildee. I know that truck, the Killer Custom Cables car. So the 412 through now, as well as David Towers. Beautiful shot. Have a look at the helicopter flying low as the Hayden... Okay. Craig Krog is off the line in the 23 as well. Craig getting a little loose down there in the sand. No dramas though. I'm sure he's looking. He actually came third last year in this car. He was the man. I don't want to put the mock on him, but he had a wild ride over, literally finishing the race. Brett Comiskey, the man, the myth, the legend behind Comiskey Mining Services. off the line as well. Have a look at this. Justin Montesalvo having a good crack here this weekend as well. The Get Performance truck. I know he's going to want to step up his position from last year. Came second last year. Wow, Bentley in the Class 8. So this, ladies and gentlemen, coming right now is a four-wheel drive trophy truck. Probably one of the first in the country. It was the first in the country. There's a few now coming in, but this was it. It was a Racer Engineering truck. The 818. The 454 is off the line as well. Dean Kay's in the passenger seat of the Toyo Tyres car. Up next is going to be Kent Battle in that white car. Had me tricked with that paint job. I tell you what, he's making time on the trophy truck too, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a pro buggy guy, get behind the 31 because we are about to see the local Kent Battle have a good crack here. Have a look at that element. He's going trophy truck hunting. It's going to be turbo cars for breakfast. Kent is an absolute legend. Always good for a bit of a laugh. Adam Franklin in the passenger seat there. Ditch Heath. Hey, how wrong's that? How wrong is that? Now, have a look at this. This is the number one, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a sneaky pick, and I don't know if this is sneaky or not, but Aaron Habe was one that you should be looking at. He reckons he's going to be doing over 200 kilometers an hour in this sand here this weekend. That was his tip. We'll catch up with him later, but all the way from South Australia, he's the man behind the Element chassis. So 4 chassis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got cars coming both ways. This is Don River. How good is this? Stuart Chapman running the little car the other way. The first shoe is the 608. What a stonking run there. Again, the 608. So McDonald having a cracker run there. So Dale McDonald, Roger Snell running the other way. Liberty Fuels, Can-Am Maverick. Again, there's just so much going on. That might have been Clayton Chapman going the other way. This is Bill Geddes coming down. Have a look at this. This is a man that wants some redemption for the last couple of years. Had a few little issues in prologue. Oh, sorry, I'll call it siding lap. Actually did a crank position sensor. Believes it was something that was giving him dramas over the course of Fink as well. He had a car cutting out. Now, Michael Marson. Have a look at this white Racer Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we're at the fast guys going into the river now. Mick Marson, Michael Collins in the passenger seat in the 32. And where is Talbot Cox? Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Craig King in the passenger seat, the 16. Everyone is now in the river. We are racing, and it is game on here. Have a look at Talbot. He is flying down the Don River. Another Racer Engineering car. Wow, some of these cars are very well represented. A lot of elements, a lot of Racer Engineering cars, good amount of rush trucks, even got some guys of trophy trucks. I tell you what, it is all happening here at the Don River. Right, I tell you what, there has been a bit of a gap now. The 608, Dale McDonald, what a rip and run. He's had a clean run, and he's made the most of it because he is running a great pace here at the front. Righto again, if you're listening online, first up, welcome very much. If you're listening in the spectator area, good morning. Isn't it gorgeous in Bowen at the moment? There's ice creams, there's coffee, there's all sorts of things going on down here. You can fill your bellies. We've got the Mickey Thompson trucks and banners and Comiskey Mining Services. There is all sorts of stuff going on here. Now, first up, we'd like to give a big shout out to our platinum and gold sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, Comiskey Mining Services. Again, can't shout them out enough. We just appreciate everything they do. But we've also got Patriot Campers, Pat McDonald Earth Moving, the Ergon Energy Network have come on board up here. Mickey Thompson Tires, as I said, Mercedes, and also the Whitsundays Ag Services are on. Now, that's the 608 going back down. So, McDonald, one of our sponsors here, is having a cracking run running down the creek. I reckon he's got 10 or so minutes. Nah, might be talking about 5 minutes here to the first one. I tell you what, the next car through is actually going to be the first of our trucks. It looks like John... No, it's a Class 5 truck. That is none other than Mr. Sheet Metal. Holy moly. Sheedy started on road in 16th position. So that truck there, that Class 5, again, I'm going to call it the Door Slammer Trophy truck. Again, got long travel suspension, but they have to have opening and closing doors, tin roof, and a chassis section, ladies and gentlemen. But other than that, 6-litre motor, got all the big trailing arm suspension, coilovers, all the other good stuff. So I tell you what, that is dead set exciting. Now, while we've got a bit of time too, thanks to our silver sponsors as well. Again, the Don River Dash cannot run without everyone involved. The Whitsunday Regional Council, Tropic Petroleum, Padman Water Solutions, NQHF, that's North Queensland Hard Facing, Widows Nurseries, Whitsunday Jet Ski Tours, DJ Brazil. We've also got Brazel, I apologize. DJ Brazel, Bowen Tire and Mechanical, ARB are on board as well. AMX Motorsport, Stackroth, Bowen, North Queensland, beautiful. Dynamic Wheel Co, RGM Maintenance, Abbott Point Operations, HLM, Burdekin Motorcycle. I tell you what, they are all big shout out to everyone listening along. And again, if you can get on board and tell them how much we love off-road racing and we appreciate the sponsorship of this event. Whoo, that was a wild 35 or so minutes. But I tell you what, this is interesting. Very interesting, because we've only had 2 cars back through the river. There's something going on. There is something going on. It's going to be very interesting to see, because again, Sheedy came out of 16th position. So he passed all those Class 8s. He passed another Class 4, all those side-by-sides. So here we go. Now, this is, wow, getting very loose down here at the start-finish line. But that is the Marks car. So that's Josh Marks in the 863. What's cool about that car, ladies and gentlemen, is that it is dead set a winch challenge truck. He just wanted to do some more seat time, more driving. So that car has done winch challenge truck, extreme winch stuff, long course stuff. The Marks very well known in the winch challenge scene. And they decided to come and have a bit of Class 8 race. I tell you what, I like that a lot. Now, this is a Human. This is the Hilux of Tyler Human. 527. Nice clean run there. Again, I think we're going to start seeing them really raw in here in a second. This is one of those things about the reverse grid order. There is a lot of position shuffling over the day. You're going to see some of those charges running through. Yeah, great run here from Mr. Sheet Metal, Michael Ranson, running back through here on the Class 5. Big drop down into the river. I tell you what, it sounds like it's running strong too. He's going to be very happy with this for a first lap. No real dramas. So again, I'm keeping my eyes peeled, much like I'm sure you guys are down this finish line run. Wow, too wide here as the side-by-sides charge down. Here you go, 3 cars wide now. Have a look at that. Great shots. Oh my goodness, there's cars everywhere here, ladies and gentlemen. Here's one of our Class 8s as well. I believe that's the 831 of Matthew Dux. Coming into the pit. So this is going to be something that you'll see, probably chasing some fuel or something like that, or a check over some parts. Again, an old winch truck Class 8. That is a mid-wheelbase GQ, so it's actually stretched out. But again, you would have seen them sneak into pit lane, so they've come in. I'm actually keeping a bit of an eye on this. Again, a little bit interesting here, isn't it? The way that it peaks and troughs. We got 6, 7 cars all at once. Wow, have a look at the sand fly out of that as again another one of our Can-Ams comes over the main start finish jump. That's the 668. So a nice clean run there so far for the 668. Brett Glazebrook and Ryan Southern out of Queensland. Again, as the Marks car heads on over. It's gone back down and through. Another one of our side-by-sides coming down the start-finish straight. Now, Josh, this is one of the earlier Polarises. I like it. XP 1000. Having a nice clean run there. The 6671, it looks like. And again, one of our Can-Ams, the 689S. Hannah Bentley, the first of our trophy trucks through. That is the 418. Cooper Johns in the passenger seat there. Now, again, don't forget, big shout out, and I'm going to do it a bit to our sponsors. We cannot run this without Comiskey Mining Services, so a big shout out to those guys. Oh, have a look at this little 10 car, the 1052. Ladies and gentlemen, was that a little bit of bop? I tell you what, everyone knows I do like a bit of bopper. But again, the first of our 10 cars through there. That'll be Daniel McDonald, Luke Patain in the passenger seat. Again, that little midi still in, getting serviced at the moment in the pits. So guys, look like they're pouring some fuel in there, all the safety gear. Again, one of our side-by-sides, the 619 through now as well. So Christian Rich. Nice little drop down into the river. Very clean, very fast. The guy's having a nice run. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't noticed, from our starting order, we have had some massive shuffles. Been some big changes. So it's going to be interesting to see here in a second who comes through. We've had the first of our trophy trucks through with Hannah Bentley, the two-wheel drive racer engineering truck. Nice, solid run here. That Can-Am working very nicely. I missed the number as it floated past the spectator area. Oh, nice little race here for a couple of 10 cars. That's the Montesalvos. So I'm just trying to work out. I'm having a look through the orders only because I'm very interested in the way that they started. So the Bentley car. Yeah. Bentley actually started 2 behind. So that's Sam Bentley in the 1018. He started with an extra position behind Christian Montesalvo, so he would have made some time up there. Now, here's one of our little 7 cars. This is the Hilux of Jason Lavis out of Queensland. So 727, right on the pace that it should be on. So again, plenty going on here. The 7 coming in. Now, this is a little bright red side by side. I reckon this might be Leela Chapman coming through with those very, very obvious red lights. Righto, so again, we can see a few cars coming into the the pit area, and a few going straight through. Obviously, that'll save a lot of time. Oh, now, interestingly, stopped right in front of the pit box here. The 606 looks like it's got some issues now. Muir through in the 448, the big trophy truck. I tell you what, we have a great crowd here. Again, big shout out from the commentary box to everyone out here in the spectator area. But again, some of the great things that are happening up here in Burdekin is it is on the radio. 91.1, I believe, is the number. So you can actually hear all the action live around the place on 91.1. Also live streaming. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening along at home all over Australia, maybe around the world, big shout out to you guys. So there is a lot going on. The 698 is on track as well. So it is all happening here at the moment. So ladies and gentlemen, again, we have basically been to our first lap. Some teams are on their second lap. But it is cranking along, and I tell you what, it's a bit of a mismatch here. Or not a mismatch, that's the wrong wording, but there's just stuff going on everywhere. There is cars floating around. There is cars coming through the crowd at the moment. A number of our leading cars that took off the line first have been passed by like 44 is now through, as well as this looks like the Element. Interestingly, coming into pit, very, very nice turned out Element, the 52. That's the 127, the DAC Mining Services Pro Light. And that's the 99 through there as well now. So Aaron Phillips came through before, and then the 99 of Drew Chandler has just come through. Calendar, I apologise. Chris Colburn looking to have a good run as well. The midi back out and racing on the other side. That's Chris Colburn stuck in the dust of the midi. But again, 3-4 lanes wide at the moment. Oh, have a look at this right in front of the spectator mound. Getting a little loose. No big dramas by the Angel car, though, the 160. So, again, big shuffle up the order, but that is to be expected when they run a reverse grid. Here's the Mickey Thompson truck, the 61. So that is Chris Weston, the Rush truck. So again, if you are joining us along at home, there has been plenty going on so far. There's plenty of racing as we come down the main straight. 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and there's a pass. Oh my, he pushed him very wide. That was Chris Colburn. Coming in now is the 878, the Class 8 Tundra. There's Chris Solid through again in that little Solid built car. That's a sneakily fast car. Chris Solid in the 1063. So again, lots of cars coming through, and I tell you what, our fast guys are still on the way in trophy trucks.
Hello, everybody. We've got Michelle Wright from the Whitsunday Regional Council here. While we've got a little bit of a break in the action out on the track, I thought I'd corner Michelle and just have a quick little chat. It's Sergeant Michelle from the PCYC here. Hey, Dan, we've got another one coming down, mate. Who have we got here? Come on, you can see that far, can't you?
It's that's one of our Ultra 4 cars. I want to say it's the Davy Mac car. No, it'll be what's his name? Bruce All Metal Magic. I do know who he is, I promise.
And for those that can't actually see Dan, he was looking at me when he said All Metal Magic. He wasn't looking at the buggy there. So this one here coming along, we've got car 13. He's all green there. He's got good lift over the jump there in front of all the spectators area. So, Michelle, your first time standing up here where these guys commentate from this view. I was a little bit worried yesterday. It was a little bit overcast yesterday morning, but how good's this weather now?
Yeah, no, it's a fantastic. The weather's just perfect. I think it's a bit of a toss between fishing weather and dash weather, to be honest. But it's just it looks as though it's going to be another ripper weekend for the Don River Dash.
Yeah, and for those, you'll hear my voice a fair bit, but Michelle's microphone was just not on, so we apologise for that. Issue early on. But Michelle's just gotten a really good view. We've got another buggy coming up over it's one of the trucks coming up. It's the Patriot. Go the Patriot, boys. Look at that lift. They got over that jump, and they are just putting the foot down. So number 484, the team from Patriot Campers. We overheard the guys talking to the twins. I don't know. I don't think they'll be driving that one, will they? They'll be driving the buggy. Class 10 car, yeah. Okay, we got Battle. He's just come through. So more trans. And, he got a little bit of good lift there. And I actually like how the wind's blowing at the minute.
Wow, there's some good racing here. That means that Kent Battle has passed a few of those trophy trucks and bits and pieces, or there's a few cars missing. That looks like Brett Comiskey's truck coming now. That's the Transvent. Wow, there is a ton going on here.
So, Dan.
Here's Aaron Habe. So Aaron Habe's on his way too. That's a car to watch out. He started right behind is that Hayden Bentley in the dirt as well. So that's the Class 8 truck. Bill Geddes is coming. And here's the... Oh, have a look at Billy.
Look at this. Yes. And poor old Davmax eating his sand.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting story there, Michelle. That car that Billy just passed, they actually were testing it on Billy's farm in Caves, Queensland, and they broke the front diff in the car that he just passed. He was driving it, so never loan your car to Billy Geddes.
How long ago did that happen?
2 days ago.
So
fixed
bit
it.
of apprehension there.
No, they're good mates. Everyone in off-road's good mates, Michelle. You should know that.
Okay. About the wind here. The wind's great because it's not... This sand is not coming up on top of all the spectators, actually going into the centre of the actual track. But my question to you, mate, is how do those drivers see where they're going? Because there was a lot of drivers. We probably had about 10 vehicles go through there then. They were in a lot of dirt and dust.
Agreed. And that's probably the hardest bit. And again, the reverse grid is what's interesting about it. You could see Hayden Bentley. Hayden's a fast guy. In the dust, he was checked up, half the pace that he'd normally do. So that's something that they've really got to work. And you saw Bill making the pass happen. So it's one of the interesting things about off-road racing. And it's something very interesting about the Don, the fact that it's a reverse grid. Now, here's Mick Marson, one of our hot favourites for the weekend. Mickey Boy Marson. Have a listen to that Ford.
To it.
I tell you what, they have some of the fastest motors. They grow them big like the mangoes up here, I tell you.
So if Mickey Marson, I love it. If Mickey Marson's just going through now, that means Talbot shouldn't be far behind him.
Right
Talbot
behind him.
Was sort of starting just after him.
You're absolutely right. He started directly behind him. So for Talbot to be on pace with Mick and Aaron Habe and that, he needs to come through now, as soon as possible.
So Talbot was telling me last night that... What do you call them? Now, we know that I know there's trucks, there's truggies, there's buggies, there's bikes.
This is Talbot right here. Yep.
Talbot. So he's not too far behind. But Talbot's Tropic vehicle and Mick Marson's are exactly the same vehicle. Is that right?
They're very, very close. So Talbot runs a Toyota NASCAR motor and Mick runs a Ford SPO motor. So other than the motor brands, both 6 litres, both 8 stacked, both Albin's gearboxes, both Racer Engineering. Yep. Very, very close.
And then with the
Josh was just pulling me up. Might have a Fortin gearbox in Talbot's because it is. Who was old mate's name that used to run it? Johnny Greaves used to run Talbot's car.
Okay, we've got one coming up in the pits. Who have we got here?
Yeah, this is actually, is this John Towers' car? So, yeah, so this is actually a motor out of an F truck, a Ford EcoBoost, they call it over in the States, but it's D-stroke to a 3.5. So very interesting. Oh, right. No, Josh was just telling me it's actually a Barra. So, there you go.
So for anyone that's not able to see these conversations, we've got 4 people up here. We've got Josh and Dan, who are brothers, and they know all about racing. They're the Curran brothers. They've actually got a live stream happening on their off-road cartel site. So get on there and have a bit of a look. But we've also got Michelle Wright from the council. So I'm going to swing back to Michelle. And while we've got a little bit of quiet, but the boys are going to keep jumping in on our conversation. It might be a little bit hard to follow. But Michelle, we were talking about the weather, this spectator area. Council does a lot for this event and our community. We really appreciate the support because without the whole community getting together and our sponsors and our businesses with our council, it really wouldn't run, would it?
Yeah, that's correct. So I think the sponsors play a huge part in getting sort of any event off the ground, as well as the committee. Like they're vital to any sort of event to run. It was just great to see. Went to the sponsors night on Thursday night, and it was just fantastic to see the community support that's getting behind this event every year. And I personally would like to shout out to the Don Dash committee and also all the competitors because each year it's just getting bigger and bigger. It's after an adrenaline-filled weekend, Bowen is the place to be. So definitely come along and check it out. There's action all weekend.
Yeah, so you talk about our committee. We've got a really good symbiotic, I'm going to use the word, relationship with our friends about an hour and 10 up the road at Burdekin. So our committee for the Don River Dash is actually made up with people from the Burdekin Off-Roaders Club. And two of those guys we were talking about before was Talbot and Mick Marson. Talbot Cox and Mick Marson. So they were the integral thinkers of this initiative, and how it's grown over 3 years is just phenomenal. I think they had 200. How many bikes did they have last night, do you think?
220, I believe, was the number.
220 bikes. So, hey, we've got some noise here in front of all the spectators area. We've been up here chatting. If you haven't got your radio on over here on the Russell's Crossing side of the track, Michelle from TCYC and Stackeroff Farms here. We're up at the broadcasters tent, and I'm speaking with Michelle Wright from the council, and we're just talking about how the Burdekin Off-Roaders Club has done a lot of work in the background to support our local guys for this event to be kicked off. And Michelle, you've been here, you're a local. It has grown over the last 3. This is the 4th year. How proud are you of our town?
Oh, I'm exceptionally proud. I think it's such a wonderful event for the whole region. Bowen in particular, like the Don River is the perfect location for that. So yeah, it's unbelievable.
Listen to that noise. Holy. So that was one of the trucks, eh? Oh, hello. Hi. I'm so good with technology. I'm glad you're here, Josh. My name's Michelle. We're one of the sponsors here, Stackeroff Farms, if you see that. We're local farmers. And I've got Michelle here. We try to keep it easy. We know each other's names. So Michelle's one of our councillors from the Whitsunday Regional Council, who are a major sponsor and supporter of the Don River Dash.
Yeah, so I'd just like to thank everyone involved in getting this up and running and off the ground each year. There's no better location anywhere, I believe, in Queensland. So definitely keep coming back. We'll support it 100% every year. So yeah, I just looking forward to a great weekend of motorsport action.
So you talk about no better place. We are situated at the top of the Whitsundays. I call us the 74th island, aren't we, or the 75th island? But I happen to be talking to the guys. They're actually one of the sponsors here from Patriot Campers last night. And one of them went and swam, in his words, swam in the Barrier Reef yesterday morning at 5:30. So for those that don't know Bowen, you go out to Horseshoe Bay or Grays Bay. We're surrounded by about 10, 12 beaches, and 10, 20 metres off the beach, you're swimming in the reef.
Yeah. Yeah, we certainly live in a magical spot. To have beautiful fishing weather this weekend and also the Don River Dash, it's definitely the place to be. So we got the best of both worlds. So yeah, just I think it'll be phenomenal, and yeah, so thankful that it grows bigger and bigger each year.
And it can't grow bigger without sponsors. So Comiskey Mining Services, they're actually from Rockhampton, and Brett was up on the sponsors night talking about how he's basically a neighbour, which is 6 or 7 hours down the road, and to lug all that equipment, it wouldn't be cheap, but he's the major sponsor of this event. So he loves it that it's on his back door and it's so accessible with how far these guys and girls do travel to follow their sport. And I'm just going to go through some of the sponsors. Do you want to help me with that? So we've got Whitsunday Ag Services, Patriot Campers. I was just down talking to the Mickey Thompson crew. They took their truck out to the Bowen State School over the weekend, during the week, sorry. And the kids absolutely loved it.
We've also got Ergon Energy, Pat McDonald Earth Moving, one of our local guys, Tropic Petroleum, HLM Heavy Logistics and Mechanical, Burdekin Motorcycles, Abbott Point Operations, RGM Maintenance, Padman Water Solutions, Dynamic Wheel Co.
We've also got Mercedes. I didn't mention Mercedes. I had to actually double check because I'm thinking, Dan, Mercedes, don't they make vehicles for the driving public, general driving public?
Oh, they make fantastic tow cars. You can tow your race car around with them.
Of course. That's absolutely fantastic. And we've got our checkpoint sponsors, and there's some sponsors here that have come back year in, year out and just really believed in this event. We've got North Queensland Hard Facing, Bowen Tire and Mechanicals. Sorry about that, Tony. ARB 4x4 Accessories, AMX. They're all motorcycle accessories. And you can do this one, Michelle.
And I'm up here with my friend from Stackeroth Farm. So thank you very much, Michelle and Belinda, for your support. We've also got bronze sponsors. So Widow's Nursery, with Sunday Jet Ski Tours, RT Technologies. So they're one of our local guys.
Yeah, and a bit of bad luck again this year with old Steve Von Pine from Refrigerator Technologies. He blew his truck up yesterday.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so I think something happened last year just before the race. So last year and this year, hopefully, Steve, you might get a run next year, mate. We might ban you from driving your truck the week before, all right? So at least you got 5 to 7 days to fix it.
We've also got another local, so Danny and Anna Brazel. I've seen them here today.
Of course they are. They live over the back here.
Yeah, perfect spot.
So they're also sponsors, and they do such a great job around town. They're our long-time locals that just help with anything. So it's really good to see. Land Accountants. So Chris Land, he's actually based here. He lives out at Brisbane, but he's a local fella. Grew up at Gumley. Oh, yep. Yeah, sorry, the live feed's just still going, but our speakers down here have dropped out again. But he's actually a Burdekin boy as well, and he's a part of the Burdekin Off-Roaders Club, and he was very integral in relation to this event kick-starting 3-4 years ago. And I was fortunate enough to sort of be involved a bit with Chris and sort of know a little bit about the history of this event and how it's grown over the years.
Also, our bronze sponsors is Castle Motor Lodge. So that's where we had our sponsors night on Thursday night.
And how good was that food? It just kept coming.
Beautiful. Yeah, just beautiful.
Okay, we got a trophy truck that's just come through, and it's number 471. And I love the sign on the side of it. Stand on the gas, and that's what he's done as he's come over that jump there. And he's followed by another trophy truck. These guys look pretty heavy in the sand. 507, he's coming up in the pits. So, Mr. Sheet Metal. BQC Quarry, so they're another local business. I'm going to just keep jumping back to our sponsors because I do think that we really need to acknowledge a lot of these sponsors. The Don River Dash team have done a brilliant job. You'll see these sponsor signs up around the place everywhere, which is just wonderful. And I know we're a business that sponsors, but we don't necessarily do it for the acknowledgement of the sponsorship. It's actually just bringing more activity, and it gives us something to do on a weekend too, which is really good. And we've got Bowen Industrial Hire. They're a fantastic local family, and they've got a couple of businesses in town. But I saw Paul Hillary last night. Did you go to the community event last night, Michelle?
No, I had another engagement last night.
Yeah. I saw our new mayor, Julie Hall, there last night. But Paul Hillary's involved with an organisation called Real Mates Talk. And they were there last night promoting what they do and doing a little bit of a fundraiser. They've actually got a really big grader that's been made that they're raffling off. So they do a great job, which is just fantastic. And we've got some supporters down the bottom. Corella Farms. I was talking to the team over at Corella the other day. They're one of Australia's largest tomato growers and supply all over Australia. Their season's a little bit off this year. They usually plan when where they grow their crops around this event. So this is the kind of they plan the event. Who have we got here? Oh, Dale McDonald's coming through for the second run. So we've got number 608, Bowen Lad. So does that mean he's still leading, Dan? He is still leading. He is turning it on. He is turning it on for his local town this year. I hope he comes through. He's got one more lap, Michelle.
And also just a fun fact for everyone today. Last year, there was roughly 6,700 people that attended Don River Dash, which is just phenomenal. And it actually brought in just under 2,000 outsiders to town. So it just, I guess, goes to show what this event brings to Bowen and brings to our community.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And not just Bowen, it's the extension of the Whit Sundays, because I know there's people that are going down there. They're staying down there and travelling up. At the community event last night, it was just wonderful. I was speaking to people from Alice Springs, Mackay, South Australia. They have just come from everywhere to actually watch the event and not just participate.
I think it's a perfect opportunity to stay and have a holiday and go to Collinsville, go to Airlie Beach, and spend some time in the Whitsundays. It's a beautiful place to be.
Certainly is. Coastal Edge Constructions are also supporters of the tropical exposure. I do apologise about that. And Repco. So we've got two big boards of sponsors and supporters that are actually supporting this event. So standing on the gas is coming over the other side. I've noticed there's a couple of little... Oh, here's our female team, Tim Tam. Give a shout out to the girls over there. So they're supported by Comiskey Mining Services, Dale Motorsports. I can see on the side of their buggy. So 648S is their number. I remember those girls from last year, but Michelle, our mayor, asked the other night if there was any females that were racing, and the first ones I thought about was this Tim Tam team. So it's absolutely wonderful. They're a small business. Okay. We've got Mark and Sons Concreting. So this is the second time round for them. So what happens now is on the third lap, that's the finish. So we're almost 2/3 around the race this morning. I tell you what, Dan, I think we've got a few extra buggies and trophy trucks this year. Anna Bentley.
Yes, I think this will be... I'm getting a bit loose too before the jump, but that'll be the Class 4 truck. So one of our young female drivers, that's Hannah Bentley.
Hannah
all
Bentley,
the way up.
Female driver.
Yeah,
here
absolutely.
we go again. Brilliant.
A family that races all the Bentleys. They've got 3 cars up here. They're absolute legends. I'm just trying to have a look who's in the Navigator. That's right. It's Cooper Johns, the 418. So that's a Racer Engineering trophy truck. Then the 1052.
Now, Burdica Motorcycles, they've recently bought a trophy truck, haven't they? They've upgraded.
They did. Unfortunately, I don't believe it was ready to race this weekend, so they're not racing. But, yes, that's right. They've stepped out of that Class 10 car. It's very good, though. Still got Burdica Motorcycles on the side of it. Nice little car, that one. Again, if you are interested in off-road racing, I would definitely have a look at Class 10. Yeah, interesting, Michelle. There's always, a number of cars coming and going, isn't there? We've got a few of the top guys, I don't want to say disappeared, but out of position. But now we've got a few of the fast guys. It won't be too long. I reckon we're going to see the likes of Kent Battle, Billy Geddes, Nick Marson, Talbot Cox. I'm interested in the gap.
Billy Geddes is a bit of a competitive soul, isn't he? He loves his racing and loves getting up and rattles the cage a bit, doesn't he?
Oh, absolutely. And all of them do. And it's interesting because, Billy obviously won the very first year and then has had a few issues since, like he had crank position issues, gearbox issues. They actually rebuilt the gearbox on Saturday night last year and continued racing.
Yeah, one of their guys actually drove all the way to Townsville to get parts overnight and come back. They've got a great team, eh?
Paul Wheel came and raced. I don't know if you remember this, Michelle, but they had a heap of issues and they actually flew a plane to Billy's place at the Caves. And it was Steve O'Donnell that went down, got gear, came back, and the plane continued to Brisbane to Paul Wheel, PWR Paul Wheel's place.
Yep.
Picked up more gear, came back to Townsville, and they continued racing. So that's when you know that you're committed.
They're dedicated, eh?
Sent the King Air down to get bits.
Yeah, I'm just
with the mechanic.
Oh,
yeah. We're in a different league to those boys.
Now, I run the local. taste of Bowen and a taste of the Whit Sundays, which is really good for them to be able to promote our local community and the wider Whit Sundays. But they also got to speak to some of the teams last night, Billy Geddes, the Brett Comiskey team, the Patriot boys, and we spoke, and I like the experience, but we spoke about that teamwork and that self-sacrifice for the greater good, and we see this a lot in this sport that you guys are heavily involved in. It is not just the people out there driving, it's not just the navigators, there is a whole heap of people that come with them, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, I think what's interesting about off-road is, let's be honest, there's no money in it. We're all just burning. You might as well put it in a pile and burn it. It's cheaper than going off-road racing. But the reality is that we're all out here having fun. So as soon as it becomes fun, hopefully we all get back into that boat where, hey, listen, again, we're not racing for sheep stations. Let's have a good time. Let's go back to the communities. It's events like this. I was just talking to Murray Rogers, the clerk, of course.
Yeah, how good's he?
Oh, he's an absolute legend. I mean, those guys, as far as off-road racing, they're the lifeblood of that. So there's no question. There's a ton of people. I mean, in off-road racing, there's lots and lots of people that are heavily involved in the sport.
Travel from all over our country.
All over. Actually, it was only until just a little bit ago that the OBR boys were coming. So if the Robinsons are looking, I tell you what, they got to get this way. They're all the way from Perth, so it is a big drive, I guess.
And we've got to remember this event started around COVID times.
Yep.
And it has grown each year, and it's just gotten stronger with those barriers that have been thrown in the middle of it. I remember the first year that there was a potato farmer that was going to come up.
Yeah, listen, that's Greg Gardner, Deadly Gregley.
And he rang up. He rang up. I remember he rang you guys, didn't he? And he was on a tractor, or he rang a radio station, or rang someone and said,
he might have been talking to Billy Geddes, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I do remember the story
about this. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had Billy up in the commentary box,
yep.
And he did tell us a story about Deadly Gregley. Greg,
and he was listening to it on your site, on his radio, tilling the ground, looking after his potatoes. A bit disappointed he couldn't get up here because of all the COVID restrictions.
Well, he's probably doing the same thing, honestly, this time. I think this race is just not perfect for his farming, unfortunately, but he really wants to come up.
And you know what? I can appreciate that. Linda, who is Stackeroth Farms. And this time every year, we're usually picking Halloween pumpkins, getting ready for Halloween time, and this is the first year that we're not doing it. So she's actually down here. She can hear the buggies usually when we're in the paddock, and I'm up here having fun. I tell her I'm working, but I'm up here talking on the microphone, talking with people, promoting our community in the event. She can hear it and she can't see it. So this is the first time that she's been able to see it.
There you go. And she said, oh, well, these off-road races, they're a different breed. I'm telling you, I'm going back to picking pumpkins. That's what's happening. No, yeah, I love it. It's very good.
Here we got a bit of air up there in the jump. What number have we got here? 448, the Burdekin. Yeah,
so that's the Muir truck. Yeah, you're right. So that is a new Geyser truck, or it's a new to them Geyser truck. So very cool. And it's a beautifully turned out truck. Looks like it's working.
And I actually got to see inside their trailer. And I don't know if you can call it a trailer. What? It's just, I could have eaten off their floor. It was so clean and tidy. And that's the thing I see with all of these cars and their setups is how just controlled and how everything has its place. Everything is neat and tidy.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's something in it that a good crew around you are key. Big shout out to all the crews who are out here racing, because, often we know the drivers, say the Billy Geddes, the Mick Marson, but I'm sure if they were telling you the story behind the scenes, there's a lot of late nights, probably a few beers too, spent at headquarters where they're working, and there's a lot of loveless acts behind the scene, isn't there, where you're just working away, working on these trophy trucks and pro buggies to make them faster. Chris Colburn talking about faster is cranking. Oh, no. I apologise. Little Jimco.
And we've got 669 buggy here. They gave us a wave on the way up. They're going into the pit stop. But talking the other night, Billy, sorry. I keep on saying Billy Geddes. It's Brett. Actually really highlighted that at the sponsors. Spoke about how his team is made up a lot of the people that work for him or work with him. I think he's one of those leaders. these people don't work for me, they work with me, and we are a family. And he spoke about that whole family unit and how they're getting the young ones in and on bikes and all that kind of stuff with the Comiskey team. And that's the kind of there is really good uptake and that handover to the younger generations in this sport, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot going on. Racing group, I guess, is a good way to put it.
Bit of air down there.
Yeah, Chris Weston in a rush buggy.
Mickey Thompson's one of our sponsors that vehicle there. So he's just got the edge on the one behind me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the 1051's having a good crack there too. Little beam car. Can see those shocks mounted up high. Got a torsion bar front end. He's moving along very nicely. Now, this looks like another one of our elements. This is the one from South Australia. I'm really sorry, gone blank on his name.
52, Ronco Motors. That looks like it's one of... Oh, here we go, helicopter. How good's this in the spectators area? We've got Patriot campers just flooring it. Absolutely through the spectator area. We've got a helicopter just following them. They'd be filming them the whole way. The Nortrans guys are coming past, and we've got a little bit more air there. So it's starting to become a bit difficult to see through that jump area. Number one.
I tell you what, Michelle, there's a sneaky from a couple of elements there. Aaron Havey. Billy Geddes is right there too.
And he's for it. He is putting it on for the spectators here today. How good is this? He's putting it on. And talking to these teams, they absolutely love that they are so close to town and that we've got all these spectators just right on their doorstep. It sort of feeds a little bit to their ego, doesn't it? You know, all these people watching them when they're jumping.
Yeah, absolutely. Although there's probably, because it's rough enough out of here, they're probably quite busy in the cab, I imagine. They're probably not too focused on anything else other than what's in front of them. But I tell you what, that's going to be a very interesting little battle out there. There's the 44. So nice little car.
Ninja Ginger. You know what? The name of that vehicle just speaks to my heart.
You like it?
Yeah.
Well, that's Aaron Phillips, an ex-side-by-side racer. Oh, a little bit loose before the jump there. Actually, that's the car that did it before, the Angel car. So it might be a little bit out of rear suspension travel. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen, not picking on anything. It's a little bit of an older car, and there's lots of different ways to skin a cat is the way I like to look at it.
So what I'm noticing is there's a lot of ruts in this sand. You know, there was a lot of worry about 14, 16 weeks ago when we got a lot of rain here, how the river would go. And I think from the pre-runs, they've really enjoyed it and the change in the river. But these guys are leaving some tracks in that sand. Does that change that?
Will it change it? Sorry.
So when they're coming through, does that really affect them with if there's tracks?
100% makes a huge difference as the 13 gets a little loose over the jump. Clayton Chapman also having a great run there.
You know what? Green and 13. They're just dicing there. The colour green and 13, but they're supposed to not be the best of luck.
Yeah, they're not scared. I like it.
Bentley, he's just gone sideways there a little bit and he's skipped the back end out.
He did, but that's a four-wheel drive trophy truck, so the Class 8 car of Hayden Bentley. And this is Brett Comiskey
getting some good air over that jump.
Yeah, and that light bar is Mick Marson right behind him, so Mick is on a tear here in his Racer Engineering trophy.
So now we've got to watch out for how far back Talbot is, don't we? It's getting really exciting here. I can feel my energy and my adrenaline starting to pump a bit here, I tell you.
Yeah, definitely gets going, doesn't it? So Baker also through there. I think that was the 134. And here's Talbot Cox in the Toyota Racer Engineering car.
I reckon they're a similar distance than last time, aren't they? I don't know if he's making much ground. He's got his title to defend old Talbot.
Yeah, not much in this at all. And I suppose Mick's starting to come into some traffic. I tell you what, though, what a race over here. Patriot,
on the other side of the river.
Other element car, and there is Kent Battle, and Aaron Havey is on the back.
He is on the gas.
My goodness, 3 elements, 1, 2, 3 right there. And I tell you what, he's on the siren too. Kent Battle, get out of the way.
We just love it.
Yeah, he reckons turbo's going right, mate. Billy Geddes right there as well. I tell you what, that is going to be a good one. Now, listen, what's going to be interesting is to see what Billy can do with Aaron Havey, because Aaron Havey is a complete menace off-road all the way up from South Australia in the one car.
So the beautiful thing about our river and being close to community, and a lot of our here we go. We've got a 4-wheel drive here. He's lost a bit of traction. He's had to take his foot off the gas a bit.
Yeah, he's definitely wondering why he didn't buy a pro buggy about now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they just do not have the suspension travel. That is an awesome
Number
car.
831.
By the way.
Listen to the rumble of that vehicle.
Yeah, so it's a mid-wheel base. They've actually extended it out. It's a very cool car. I actually believe it was built by Brett Morgan. So that is a cool car. He's raced it for a lot of years and a number of different winch challenges and all the other things when that was on the go. And now he's racing Class 8, different owner, sold. Brett Morgan's racing dirt bikes now, a bit of a loose unit.
Wow. I tell you what, but I was just talking about all the houses and everybody that lives down this river. And if they're listening in, they're getting a really good view. I know a few of them were preparing their areas and setting themselves up for the weekend right on their doorstep, not far from their amenities in their house and their kitchen.
Yeah, and they're probably listening to 91.1, I believe it is the radio station. They can have a listen along, so there's plenty going on. So that must be a Bentley car.
Lucky we've got Josh here. He's having a look and spotting the vehicles for us while we're chatting. He's a good backup. So we've got the Pigots right up the end of the river. We've got Paul McDonald down here, which is just beside the Don River Bridge. So a shout out to those guys. I believe that he's got inside with some of the sponsors, McDonald Earth Moving, and they've built a jump out the front of his place. So they'll be getting some action down there as well.
I tell you what, this is a stacked field because I haven't even mentioned the name Tony Falaba.
I don't know how you guys keep on top of who's who and
listen, we're struggling a little.
Truggies, bikes.
Josh and I are talking here, trying to work out where everyone is. Again, I love it. I like it. I love the reverse grid, but it is maniacal to try to keep up with what's going on because there's cars everywhere.
How often do they do reverse grids?
Hardly ever. I think this is it. Stewie Chapman is now coming into the pits. That little Millennium. Well,
he's the only one in. So a lot of these cars and buggies and trucks, we're seeing two people, a navigator and a driver. He was on his own.
Yeah, there's a couple of single seat cars out here. So
different class?
No, same class, pro car. So just you can choose
not
whether.
Fair.
So some people, here you go. You'll get into the politics of it. Some people like not having a navigator because they feel like they don't have someone else to be concerned about.
So, I was going to say, so is it like, no, Talbot's gone through? Yep, Talbot. Oh, Joshy's onto it. So Mick Marsawn's gone back through, but Talbot Cox hasn't. Is this him coming up here? Dav Mack.
So this is the Ultra 4 I was telling you about with the independent front end. I believe he's got the DFI crew in with him.
Okay, we've got one coming through. Is this the Patriot coming through?
It's the Montre Salvo twins. So they're limping into. Now, what's hanging down off the bottom of that car? Is that spitting steam? Yeah, engine oil or steam. We'll try to get a good look at it.
Okay, so Patriot Campers, the twin brothers are in this.
Yep, that's some serious blow-by coming out of that little 10 car. So I'd say they've probably got some pretty terminal-style injuries inside that motor.
So they were getting a bit of a briefing this morning from their dad and their uncle in relation to the track and their support crew and what they needed to do. That's a little bit of a disappointment for those boys. So last night I was able to take our youth group around the event, and the Patriot Camper boys were very generous with their time and their whole team, and they actually showed them their buggy and their side-by-side, which was just wonderful. And it's great for those kids to get rewarded for a lot of the community stuff that they do, which is just fantastic. So we've got the McDonald Earth Moving water truck going up and down. I've seen these guys going around and around in circles for 2 days. This is the kind of stuff that a lot of our volunteers and our local businesses just get in and get done. They're missing the race, but they're making sure that they're keeping the area nice, neat, tidy and control for all of us in the spectator area. So we've got Josh and Dan over here. They're consulting each other. There's a little bit of something unfolding. We haven't seen Talbot Cox come back through. So that's a little bit of a worry for Talbot. but we've lost him somewhere down the ocean end of the river. So, Michelle, from the council, I'm not talking to myself. So you've been here for probably a good 20 minutes. And what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's a pretty tight race. There's a lot going on today. So, yeah, no, it's really, really fantastic to see the competitors and the amount of nominations and that sort of has taken place this weekend. So it's huge. So
yeah, here we go. One of the big trophy trucks has just come through, 444. So that's a racing team that's just come through. Sorry, I don't know all the names. I'm bare enough working out a buggy versus a truggy versus a truck versus a side-by-side or a single.
Hey, interesting, Michelle. We've actually got Paul Wheel, who we were talking about racing before. He's having a listen. They're out pre-running the Baja. It's rainy over there. Him and the 400, I apologize, but they're pre-running down in Mexico. And what's cool about that is that he's over there
bit
racing.
Of flame coming out of the back button.
Yeah, she got the fuel tune in that one in the killer racing car.
Sorry.
But so Paul Wheel's actually over there running Team Australia. So it's Paul and Toby Price, none other than the Dakar champ.
Now, didn't Billy Geddes have Toby Price run, was it his truck? Two or three, one of the first years
yes,
we ran it.
Second year, I think it was, or third year. Yeah,
absolutely. So Toby come on his bike, smashed that, of course. And how awesome is that man? He is so good. I saw him just really engage with young people. He'd be talking to one of his team members or one of the other competitors, and he'd excuse himself to be able to go and just speak to a young person because he understands about, that kind of thing and getting them in their sport.
Oh, absolutely. Toby is a great ambassador for the sport, as are all these guys again, Paul Wheel, Billy Geddes, Brett. I mean, you could not say enough about how good all these guys are. Yeah. But again, big shout out to those guys over in Mexico, listening all the other way on the other side of the earth.
So, excuse my ignorance to the guys over, where is it, Mexico? I don't even have a passport, so,
Michelle,
I'm very uncultured.
Listen.
I'm a Bowen girl through and through.
You're not going to say badger, are you? The badger.
You're leading me into something. Oh, no, BAJA, Badger.
Badger.
They're at the Badger. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
No, they're at the Baja, because it's the Baja. And listen, anyway, the moral of the story is that they're all the way over. They're down south of California, down over the border, down in cartel country.
So they're listening to you guys online. You guys do this at many events. No?
No, this is it. Thanks for that, Michelle. Thanks.
You look like you do it at many events. No, you've done it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's very true.
There you go.
Josh was just saying that Paul was one of our very early podcasts. We actually recorded at Fink on the couch. Bit sus, but anyway.
See, I knew that there was more than one event.
He's a good guy. So we do, okay, let's get back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm assuming that if you're on our page, you know this already, but we actually do a podcast is what we do.
You are talking to me here, remember?
I know.
I'm from Bowen, no passport.
Well, you need to get on the Dirtbags podcast and have a listen. You'll learn a lot about off-road racing and talk a bit of tech, talk a few races. Anyway, enough of a
do a bit of homework before next year. No, but it's very important. How long have you had this Dirtbags podcast going?
15 episodes.
Which means how long in time?
About 6 months.
I was going to say, you didn't have this last year.
Correct. No, we
you
definitely
had Off-Road Cartel. Do you still have Off-Road Cartel going? I remember.
There's all sorts.
I'm following you guys on Facebook. That's good for me.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's not good for... if you're learning off us, it's going to be a real concern.
Okay, I'm seeing car 724 come behind us. Now, they've got poppies on their car, red poppies. So they're the Ramus Racing. They've got a very unique story, and I'd love to see if you can get one of them up to talk about what they do in relation to mental health and well-being and supporting our returned servicemen and women.
Absolutely. Ian Baker comes up pretty much every year when we're up here, and he's a legend. He's actually out racing at the moment, I believe, is my understanding. So hopefully while the motorbikes are on, they'll come. Last year, Michelle actually did a drone show as well. I'm not sure. I think you might have been picking when that happened on Sunday.
Yeah, might have been picking.
But there was plenty going on.
Had to go to work.
Had to go to work. Got to pay the bills. I understand that. But they had a fantastic drone show that they put on, and Ramis and the RSL are involved in great things. And one of the things that they definitely do is run off-road cars, and it's for return service men and women. That was a young lady driving, a return service woman.
Yeah.
So a big shout out to all of those guys. Again, our hearts go out with you guys, and having you involved in the sport and racing and getting you in the shed and working on race cars, really puts you into a position. Because again, we talk about time and time, Michelle, about the family community of this, but it is really cool that these guys get all together and work it out. They make it race and make it all happen.
Yeah, well, I was really touched by their story when I first heard about it, and it's about building that confidence up and building that resilience up, and just belonging to something. We've all got to belong to something, and I love that they've got the poppies on the side of that car. When they drove through the river this morning, I live on this side of the river, so I usually drive through Russell's Crossing daily for work and back again, and I tell you, there was a stream of vehicles coming from the town side all the way through to the other side. I actually had to stop for them. And that Ramis Racing, that's where I first saw that vehicle with the red poppies on it. So it's just an absolutely fantastic story. Okay, the boys here are moving their cameras and things around for their podcast, Dirtbags Podcast. I don't know if they've called it Dirtbag Podcast because these two are thick as thieves as brothers, or they're actually chase the dirt with the racing that they're doing. So a lot of these vehicles are on their last run, so not too long and we'll actually see some of those leaders coming through. So they finish when they drop back up out of the river, don't they, boys? Here we are, just setting some stuff up. So Dan, just quickly, where is the finish line?
Well, the official finish line is this jump just here. There's a timing marker just here. So they do finish here, although the starting timer, just to be a bit confusing, is that they go under a set of timing markers when they're up on the bank, where they go around and there's a bank, they drop down off the bitumen.
Yes.
So again, we talked about it a little bit earlier, that the bitumen section is actually not what's the word? It's a ceremonial start. Now, we've seen some burnouts and some donuts and some slides and some wild times, but officially they are just cruising along.
And a shout out to all the residents down that area, because the council actually shuts the road off down towards that Lower Don area for the period of time of these vehicles coming up and into the river and out of the river. And that's pretty unique to be able to drive your vehicles from the local showgrounds to the racetrack.
Oh, 100%. There's no other race that does that here. So, yeah, it's a massive thing for us that they do that. And, again, it's one of those things that just makes it very, very unique here at Don River.
Yeah, so I'm going to quickly shout out to Michelle here from the council, because logistically, Michelle, you'd have to have a fair few staff on board this weekend for those road closures. Is that right?
Yeah, so there is staff and also volunteers that work for the council that are sort of helping out today. So big shout out to those guys as well. Without their help, this wouldn't happen. So it really shows that they're dedicated and they do a great job for the community.
Yeah, so I've stood my time at traffic accidents in the middle of the hot sun on the bitumen road, stopping traffic, things like that over my career. And I know how that can be a little bit tiresome on you. So thanks, guys, for being out there. Stand on the gas. Is that the third time we've seen those guys through, or the second? No, they wouldn't be leading. That's their second time through, I think. Okay, another trophy truck's just come back through. And we've got 433 Transvents just come through. Geez, he's a noisy vehicle. $694. Just can't see the sponsors or their team name on the side of that one. Okay, if you can hear that revving of that engine, that's a Patriot camper. Boys, so they're the twins over there. They're just working on their car to see if they can get it back in the race. So while we've got a little bit of a minute, I'm going to go through these sponsors again. What do you think? Sounds like a good idea. Brett and the team from Comiskey Mining Services, spoke about them before. They travel all the way up from Rocky, but they also race over in the States. So I think the first year they weren't able, Brett wasn't here racing, was he? I think he was actually over in the States. Don't know if he sent one of his support racers over here, did he?
He sponsors Billy, so he's pretty heavily involved in Billy Getty's program. So and I don't believe the first year that he would have had a trophy truck. So he's still racing side by sides over competitively in America at that period of time. Would have been over there racing. So and now he's made the switch with COVID. He does a lot more racing in Australia now. Went from the pro buggy to the trophy truck, and he's going really well. Beautiful toned out truck. That's actually the ex-Toby Price trophy truck that he's driving now, which is the ex-Paul Wheel trophy truck. So there you go, a bit of history in that truck.
And was it Paul Wheel we were talking to on the podcast that's over at Baja? See, I'm getting it, mate.
Small world around here, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and the competition stays on the track, doesn't it? So a lot of these guys really support each other and have a great time outside of, and when the race is on, the race is on. So thanks, Brett and your team, for supporting this event. You all looked very smart in your red Fleno shirts the other night at the sponsors night, so well done to you for your marketing. Okay, so Dale McDonald. Third, Dale's through and he has finished. Well done. You! Give a shout out to our guys, Snelly and McDonald there. So they've actually taken first place coming through there. So he's actually done a really good job in front of a local crowd, which is wonderful to see. We might even see if we can get him up here to have a little bit of a chat once he sort of settles down for 5 minutes and gets his heart rate back a little bit normal.
Well, I tell you what, it's pretty nice when you're right at the front, isn't it? He probably never saw dust all day.
And I reckon he's had a bit of practice, and if he's done a little bit with these jumps, he knows what the track's like.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, interestingly, that's the 418 in. So a good run there. That's the Bentley Bentley car, Hannah Bentley. I apologise. Yeah. That was a mouthful.
So that female driver,
so a great drive.
So is she finished?
Yep, 3 laps. She's through. Great
so second.
Drive. So again, corrected time.
No, the time. It's reversed. Okay.
So because she started off very early, she did get a nice clean run.
Tell you what, who's that over on the other side of the river? He's making a bit of good speed there. Hey, we've got one of the spectators coming up here. Tell us a little bit of information about Chris Weston.
Yeah, he said that this is actually his 100th off-road race. How cool is that? So 100 race, Chris Weston.
Yeah, well done. Century.
He got the century.
Race of the century right here in the Whitsundays, eh?
Absolutely. And where better would you want to do it? Whitsundays. Beautiful one day, perfect the next.
And the weather is turning it on itself today, I tell you.
It is.
And some of these guys, if they were smart, they could have towed a boat when they finish racing out of the car into the boat, go and catch a really nice coral trout somewhere out near Gloucester Island, come back, cook it up for dinner.
Oh, listen, you're selling me on it. If someone wants to give me a boat, let me know.
Got a boat? Anyone? What boat?
Charter boat?
Okay, so we've got Whitsunday Ag Services. Mick Boyce there. He's probably done a fair bit of work to help support this event. We've also got the awesome team from Patriot Campers. They're one of our gold sponsors for the event, which is just wonderful, or they might even be platinum sponsors for the event. 507's coming up through.
Yeah, that's Michael Ranson. I tell you what, that is a fast run. I'm very excited to see how they sit into everything, because the Class 5 just shouldn't be that fast, but they are. Door Slammer trophy trucks.
Door Slammer trophy truck. So tell me about this reverse order. How long would it take for them to realise who's first, second, third place if they're starting reverse order?
With our amazing timing system like Speed Hive and all the other stuff. Oh, there's another McDonald's route. That's the ex-Mule car, I believe.
Yeah, the Burdekin Motors.
So great run there. And again, sorry, we're talking about the time. It's pretty much instantaneous. You can see it on, I believe it's Speed Hive. So anyone with an app or anything like that can actually see the times.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So for everybody in the spectators area here over at Russell's Crossing, all of these vehicles pretty much that are coming through, they'll be on their last lap. Well, as I say that, this yellow buggy goes straight through. So that might be his second lap there. And he's got one to go. So a shout out to our recovery crews and our sweep teams. So we've got a lot of our local volunteers that are in the middle of the river. You might see some of our recovery crew and sweep teams with the white flags on their vehicles in the middle of the river. So they're there making sure everybody's safe and helping them out as much as they can. So one thing we do as Stackeroth Farms is we actually make all the volunteer lunches for the Saturday, Sunday, because these guys just can't get themselves out of the river. Once they drop into that river, there's a whole heap of regulations and rules that they've got to follow, and they've just got to stay there until this race is over. And a lot of them, because they're all the way up the end of the river, 30-odd kilometres down the river, they're actually staying there for the duration of the day. So a shout out to all our locals and some of the Burdekin Off-Roader Club and some of the people that come to town for this event and volunteer to be recovery crews and sweep teams. It's absolutely awesome. Here we go. We've got another buggy coming through. 696. Concrete Racing. So I wonder if they took, and they're in a Can-Am. Wonder if they took a spoonful this morning before they headed out. Concrete Racing, get it?
I like it.
Bada
I like
bing,
it a
bada
lot.
boom.
Hey, listen, Michelle, we are now just trying to clear some things up just so we get it right. I don't think it's Speed Hive. We think if you follow the links on offroadracing.com.au, Murray and Julie Rogers, fantastic. Obviously, they do a lot of timing themselves, but we do believe that it's actually under it's called Race Monitor Live. And again, you can follow all the links and do that sort of stuff.
905's on his last lap.
Yeah,
TJ's
that's
off-road. He's just coming up through.
Hey, have a look at the 76 chuffing diesel down there.
And I was going to say, is he blowing a bit of black smoke there?
He is indeed, the big VDJ.
The rings. Hey.
And now that's the mule car coming.
Yeah, the mule
Aaron
car.
Habe. Oh, my goodness.
Good work to the mule team. This is the first time bringing that vehicle to the Don River Dash.
Yeah, listen, I think that Aaron Habe is going to be on a charge there. Kent Battle.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Good work. Well done. What I'm loving is that these guys are actually waving and giving us acknowledgement when they're coming through. They're really happy. Yep. That they've finished this race. There's the Patriot Campers team. Good work. They've got one that's finished. Actually, talking about the Patriot Campers team, I didn't see where they're big buggy.
Here's Billy Go-Gettys.
Yeah! Woo!
Oh, yeah,
Turn
brother.
it on for the spectators.
Have a look at this.
Yeah!
Yeah, man.
That man can jump that truck.
Oi, the big corn dog in the passenger seat going, oi, Billy, stands on the gas, brother. Put her in aeroplane mode. There's a good job, story, Michelle. They went to Think and they went pre-running. All the laptop, they use Macs now to run their navigation. And Alan Cornick is an absolute loose unit as a navigator, has raced over in America.
Would he have told Billy to do that?
Well, so
would Billy have seen that coming up?
The story there is that Alan Cornick on all the jumps at Fink just put an aeroplane symbol. And when asked what that meant, it meant send it. Just aeroplane it off those dunes, brother. So he would have been doing the same thing. Now, thanks to the wonders of modern technology, Josh Curran has actually brought up
a great job in the background here,
the
mate.
live
Pointing
feed. So we can run
and
through day one Don River Dash. And our fastest am I reading that right, Josh?
Results are not official.
Oh, not official, right?
Sorry, I'm going to say this.
Do it.
The results are not official. This
not
is
official.
just stand down, but it's a little bit like a horse race.
Correct.
When someone's calling a horse race, who's in first, second, and third? It's not over until it's official.
That's right, because there's a lot of cars still coming back. We can tell you time-wise, it looks like none other than Billy Go-Gettys in the 441.
Would he know that when he's sitting in that truck?
He'll know it now, I reckon.
Has he got comms to his team? Would his team be there with a computer watching this?
Possibly, but again, they'll know now. So that's a great run out of the trophy truck. I've got to give him credit. Great drive there. Clayton Chapman through too. Good to see those guys through. And sorry, it was very quick. It was Aaron Habe was definitely in second and then Kent Battle. No, Mick Marson's in there as well, but he hasn't. Did I miss Mick come in? So it looks like that might be lap 2 times, is it possibly? Might be waiting for an update, but here is Mick Marson.
A little bit of air. Good work, Mick Marson. And he's lost Talbot. Talbot hasn't come back through. And bit of a siren on from Mick Marson and his team coming up through for the spectators. I tell you what, this is going to be the spot to sit this afternoon for the bikes, and definitely for the final race tomorrow.
So this is Chris Weston, 100th race. Oh,
well done. Let's give him a round of applause. 100 race.
Yeah. Good drive there from the Westons.
Good work for making your century, mate. You've finished. You can breathe now. And sponsored by Mickey Thompson team there. Well done.
Yeah, I'd say the Mickey Thompson, one of our fantastic sponsors. Bailey Motorsports 52. They've had a great run too. Man, that's 3 of the 4 elements in now. So they'd have to be pretty happy with that. That's Royden Bailey driving that out of South Australia.
So you were saying non-official results. We've spoken about Billy Geddes at best time, 10:23:12.
Yeah, that's right. So it's definitely a stonking time.
How far's this race? Do we know? Oh, we should know that.
Well, it'd have to be 50 kilometres because 300 by 6 laps. It's got to be 50.
Oh, so it's okay. So
150 for this section.
2 days. The race is not just today.
Correct. So they are racing tomorrow as well, and it's going to be a storming run tomorrow.
Yeah, well done. And I tell you what, if you're looking for a spot and you haven't got a spot along the river, come down here to the spectators area. They've done a brilliant job of clearing this area. It's nice and safe. Make sure you're inside the bunting.
Here's Brett Comiskey coming charging
again. Too. Good work.
So a good drive there from Brett. Again, this is the Geyser Trophy truck of Brett Comiskey. Big shout out to those guys, our major sponsor.
Good work to the Comiskey team.
Nice drive through there. Again, Brett known for that consistency. He's knocking off some fantastic championship points. I should know this off the top of my head, but I think he's sitting second outright in the national championship, something like that, and first in class, I believe. So he's having a great run in the Australian Championship.
Okay. I'm going to walk over here to the officials area and see if this radio mic will work. Okay, I'm just going to point it back. I'm getting some tips here. Okay, we are going to talk to some of the drivers. I'm going to see if I can get over here in the pit area where they've all pulled up. And I'm going to keep looking back that way, so you give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Yep. Okay. Here we go. We've got 127 DAC Mining Services coming back through. I'm going to try and get a hold of a couple of these drivers. Okay, I hope you can hear me over there. I'm going to grab Mick Marson here. He's the first one. I'm just learning all these faces and these names. Okay, you want a drink of water, mate? I'm good. No, you're good. Just quickly come over here. I just can't hear with all of the vehicles. I've got Mick Marson over here. You got a big grin on your face, mate. How is this?
Mate, that was awesome. That's what we come here to do. That was just the best hour and a half I've had in about a month.
Cannot wipe the smile off this man's face. So, what do you reckon happened to Talbot?
Oh, I don't know. Is he out or is he stopped?
Well, he was not far behind her, and then we haven't seen him since.
Oh, damn. Okay. I hope everything's all right there. But, yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed that so far. That was epic. That was just so much fun. It's just everyone did the right thing on the track. Everyone moved over. There was no incidents that I could see. That's just so cool.
You look like you're a kid at a candy store. You love this stuff, don't you? You live for this stuff.
I'm a 50-year-old kid. When I hop out of that car, I've always got a smile on my face. I'll tell you now.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Mick. And how's the track this year? I see that they've done a little bit of a difference with some of the jumps and some of the whoops. I'm learning new words here, I tell you. So what do you reckon about that track?
Yeah, it's really good. It's holding up really well through the water sections there. It's a bit, everyone's got to be a bit cautious, but other than that, it's just open and fast and big bumps, big cars handle it really well. The guys are getting through it well from what I can see. So well done to all the drivers that finished today. It was pretty tough out there.
So I know the other night at the sponsors night, I think Brett Comiskey was saying that there was a little bit of a lot of phone calls and a little bit of worry in relation to the rain we had late in the year, and a little bit worried about how this track would handle it. Who we got? Ramus Rover. Right? Is it Ramus or Ramus?
Ramus Rover guys.
Yeah, we were talking about these guys earlier on. So they're the ones that actually bring a whole team of people behind them, and it's about mental health and wellbeing and getting our return service men and women, and they've got some women helping out in their team as well, back into just being involved in team sports and part of a team.
Yeah, that's right. Ian Baker's the co-founder of that. He approached us a couple of years ago to be involved with our Burdekin race and the Don River Dash, and hats off to them. I played a lot of rugby with some servicemen. A couple aren't with us now, and that really hit me, so that's why I've been a big supporter of them. Well done to Ian and his team, and I think Ian is stopped out there, but it doesn't look too serious, so hopefully he'll be going again.
Yeah, fantastic. So the river, the mighty, dry old Don River's held up all right after all that rain.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, the water splash is fantastic because your engine oil temp and your water temp goes from sort of borderline to really, really nice. So you get that bit of a break, you get a nice little splash into the cab occasionally, and it just works really well.
So, this track, what's your favourite part of this track, do you think?
The big whoops.
The big whoops. Okay, who's responsible for building all those big whoops?
No, they've just created themselves. We tried to knock them down a bit, but they're already out there now from all the pre-run and all us cars shooting through there. They're already getting up nice and big, and a couple of times there we got up in the air a little bit, but my car can handle that. So I know its limits, and we caught and passed a lot of cars in the rough. That's what our cars are made for.
Yeah, so you talk about getting some air. Billy Geddes, doesn't he like turning it on for the crowds? And again, last year, I think he put it on for the crowds at the finish line, and he's done it again today. So a little bit of air. Apparently, I've just heard a story from the guys up there, from Danny Curran, that his navigator puts an aeroplane there. So it means we've got to get air.
I'll tell you what, Billy, the entertainer. So, look, he's been our number one supporter since day dot. He's the inaugural winner. So I hope he's done really well. I think he put a little bit of time on me today too, the bugger. So we'll see what happens.
So online, the unofficial, he's number one, unofficially, because of course we've got to wait till this race finishes, don't we?
I would think so, because I think he put 20 seconds on us. So we started 20 seconds behind him. So I figured that he's put a little bit of time on us.
Talking about Billy Geddes, come over here, Billy. I'm going to hand the microphone. Are you right? You're going to go? Thanks, Mick. Thank you so much. These guys, they're nearly like elite sportsmen because they're getting out. I know you're laughing, Billy, but you're getting out of those buggies and trucks, and it would take a toll on your body.
Yeah, that's a pretty good rough race. Not overly long, so you can sort of get into it, but a lot of concentration. You're really relying on your navvy with that with the higher speeds and the dust. But you know, there's plenty of room here. It's a good race to just keep poking along and yeah, having a bit of fun.
Good on you. And we were just talking about you, and I don't know if you can hear it over the rumble of the motors, but you like turning it on for the crowd. How much air did you just get there over that finish line?
Yeah, the old truck. She's 10-year-old this year, and doesn't want to jump the old darling.
Bit like its owner, eh? We'll leave that one where it is. But Billy, tell me about this track compared to last year, and what's your favourite spot?
Look, they've done a lot of prep work, the boys, and they've really tried to think of the issues of congestion, and it's working. Obviously, sand holes that were there last year are going to come back, and they're already coming back. There's a water section there that had no water in it yesterday, and we were pretty much swimming there on that last lap, so it's going to be an interesting day for the bikes this afternoon and for us tomorrow. But yeah, it's just that same old holes getting dug, and then you fill it back up with sand. Well, it's not going to stay in there very long, and she'll be back out again.
Yeah, and I bet you there's a little bit of river tax that's going to be paid over the weekend here. So we live on this side of the river, and when my daughter was learning to drive and bringing buggies down here herself and the old four-wheel drive, we used to call it river tax when we had to ring the mechanic to go, yeah, we're bogged, wait a minute, we've blown something up, and he'd just laugh and go, river tax.
Well, I hope I don't have to do too much more of that. We didn't get the car out the track yesterday. We lost a crank angle sensor before we even left the showgrounds. It was an easy fix, and Steve got onto it. But Steve preps the car really, really well. I wouldn't be that confident in the car. If Steve says it's right, I'll just send it. And obviously, guys are built truck. They're strong as bags. And we've got Paul from down south doing our shocks. And we all know exactly what's in the shocks now. We trust it. The car's a really happy car.
So what I'm picking up, because I'm not a car and buggy person, but I'm starting to learn a little bit more each year, is not just about you, it's about your whole team and having confidence in that whole team unit. How long have you guys all been together and racing?
Oh, well, Steve's been with me for a good 6 years now. And Paulie's come along in the last 2 or 3, maybe even 4 now. And then we've got Adam and Steph and the guys that they've been with us since we started racing. And all having kids now, so they're back with the kids, and it's just a good family group we got, and they're just laid back. We don't take things too hectic. We just cruise along.
That's fantastic. And you're a neighbour down the road, as in the words of Brett Comiskey. You're from Rockhampton, is that right? Another place that's close to my heart. I knocked around in Rocky a bit in my late teen years, played up a bit like a second-hand lawnmower. You wouldn't have done that there, would you?
Oh, no. Yeah, the old Great Western and the Leichhardt days, they were pretty hectic. But no, we live in a little place called the Caves, which is just on the northern end of Rocky, and it's a beautiful spot. Just a bunch of bushies, and, we all like cooking food and having a good time, and, do a bit of work when we can.
Good on you. I'm going to let you get back to your team. I do want to catch up with the Patriot Camper boys, I think, because they had a breakdown. So if anybody's there and they see the Patriot Camper boys, can they send them over to me and get them over to have a little bit of a chat if we can?
Hey, Michelle, just out of interest, at the Caves, I believe...
Here comes Brett Comiskey. He's coming over to talk to his mate Billy Geddes, but I'm going to corner him first. And we've heard a little bit about the relationship with Brett and Billy and Toby Price and your history with this race. You've been an integral supporter from the first year.
Oh, yeah, look, it's a great event. Just after being out there, the track was awesome. Dust a little bit bad. We had a few overheating issues, so it kept slowing down a bit. Look, yeah, good on to Billy G for being out front there. They'll have a nice bullseye on his back.
A nice bullseye on his back. I love it. So I'm learning a little bit about this timing, and this is a little bit unique to have an event that starts in reverse order. Do you like that start?
It was good. Look, everyone was really good out there. Only one car we had a bit of issue. He wouldn't move, so all the little UTV guys and the slower guys, they got out of our way pretty quickly. So, most of them have been here before, know the format. So, no, I reckon it was pretty good out there.
Yeah, so you've raced here before. You weren't able to race the first year because you were over in the States racing. But I remember talking to you last year. How's this track different from last year, and what's your favourite part of the track so far this year?
Look, it's all good. The water bit down the back is getting a bit deeper, so it gives you a cool down. That's cool. That was good. Look, the whoop sections are good. It's got a bit of everything, and it keeps you on the hop. It's not a track that you can have a rest on. I think I had one sip of water the whole way around, so it keeps you busy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I do see that everybody's jumping out of their vehicles and just really going for that water. And I was saying this a little bit to the boys earlier in relation to, you do have to have a little bit of fitness with doing this and being able to, I know it's a reasonably short race when you're talking about compared to Fink and a couple of the others, but still have to have that fitness. I don't know how the motorbike boys do it.
Look, it's intense. It's a short course race and it's full noise. That's what I mean. There's no slow parts of the track, so it's where you turn around down the other end, that's the slowest you'll go. And it's full noise the rest of the way. So, good fun. Everyone was really good out there today.
So, we can't see where everybody's set up on the side of the river, but is there some, well, you probably were going too fast to be able to see them, but there's quite a few spaces down the river where a lot of people are set up. How's the turnaround down the river with our public down there?
Look, everyone's got some good setups on the way. It's like being at the Baja 1000, the good old days at Fink where they're on the edge of the track. So, yeah, look, they're having a good time down there. They're all being safe. They're nowhere near in danger there, that's for sure. So, look, if you break down, I'm sure you'll get some cool refreshments out there for sure.
Yep, true Bowen and Whitsunday style. There would be lots of cool refreshments down there. And I'm glad you brought up being safe. So that's one of the big things. And we saw, I think, down south, it was at Tasmania last weekend, the weekend. Rainbow in Victoria, I do apologise. There was an extremely serious accident where 2 people lost their lives. So there is bunting up, and we've got those cordoned off areas for a reason, because these vehicles, they don't stop quick, do they?
No, that's for sure in the sand. Look, all the road accesses are all blocked off. There's plenty of flags, and everyone's been responsible out there. Look, we're going quick. We don't see everything. but I didn't see anything bad out there, that's for sure. Everyone's been safe.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for sponsoring this event. Not only do you put a lot of money, time and effort into your team and your team members, into your equipment, but you're also the major sponsor of this event.
Look, I'm glad to be a part of it. Like, you know, I'm a racer like everyone else and enjoy it. And it does cost money to turn these events on. Without you guys, we couldn't race. So it works both ways. And it's good for our business. There's a lot of people in our business that race. There's a lot of people out on the mine sites that race as well, part of motorsport. So look, it's a good thing for us and money well spent.
And I was just saying to Billy, I'm sort of a Bowen/Rocky girl. 2 places I'd live in the world, Bowen or Rockhampton. And great to see you guys here supporting us and our neighbours down the road. And my relations, I might call you my relations down the road. But safe trips home. But you're here to race tomorrow, and good luck, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone. It was a good day, so everyone's safe.
Awesome. Okay, we've got another driver over here, a first-time driver. And what's your name?
Aaron Havey from down South Australia, down in Walker's Bay, yeah.
So you've come all the way from South Australia to the beautiful Whitsundays. Is this your first visit to the Whitsundays?
This is definitely my first visit here, and the reason why we are here because it is hot.
Because it's hot, because it's cold where you are. Okay, Aaron, your first race. When did you first hear about the Don River Dash?
I've been talking to Michael Marston and Talbot Cox for a while. They've always come down and support our races down south, so they've always told me to come and check it out. So we've been pretty keen for the last couple of years, but this year was the year that lined up.
Now, tell me, what do you think about the race? What do you think about the track?
Look, I think the race, the venue, the place is awesome. The track itself is definitely busy, and you got to keep your wits about you, so it's pretty cool.
Okay, do you do much reverse start? Is it reverse start? Now, I'm going to have to excuse myself. The locals know who I am. My name's Sergeant Michelle. I run the local PCYC, but we're also, my partner and I have a farming business called Stackerall Farms. So we make all the lunches for all those volunteers that are down the middle of the river for the recovery crews and the sweeps and things like that. I don't know much about them. I'm learning that there's truggies and trophy trucks and buggies and side-by-sides and motorbikes. What do you drive?
I'm basically a pro class or unlimited class buggy, so it's probably a 700 horsepower buggy, good for about 200 plus kilometres an hour. So it's got big suspension travel. We'll hit most of this stuff flat out, so it's pretty crazy.
Do you have a navigator in yours, or are you solo?
No, I got my wife in there this weekend, so she actually loves it, so it's pretty cool.
So we do have a lot of husband-wife teams, or father-daughter, or family team members. Not much squabbling in the buggy. You listen to your wife like you do at home. Is she the navvy?
Yeah, she's been navvy there, so we work together very well, which is pretty cool. And if she starts talking too much, just turn it off, so it's easy.
Good work. So, any parting comments that you want to talk about the event or your trip here to the Whitsundays?
Oh, not really. I think it's just I'm just glad to be here to be part of the event, so it's pretty awesome. And to support the guys that come down our way, to sort of support them back is brilliant. So I'll be definitely speaking up highly of the event.
Thank you so much. I hope you're getting to spend a couple of days downtime to enjoy the area that we're in. But we'll let you get back to your buggy, and good luck with your racing tomorrow, hey?
No worries. Thanks to you, and all the best to the rest of the crew.
Champion, thank you. Okay, the next one up, we've got the team from Patriot Campers. So I'm going to get their attention and get them to come over. Oh, we've got another young fella. I'm going to get this young fella here. He's just standing here watching. I have no idea who you are. Hello, my name's Michelle.
My name's Jai.
Jai, you seem like a younger bloke. How old are you?
18.
18. So is this the first time you've been to the Don River Dash?
It's going to be my second time.
And what kind of vehicle do you actually race?
Oh, I don't race. I navigate. My brother, he's 16. He's the driver.
Okay, so we're talking about family. So we were just speaking to that gentleman, him and his wife, you and your brother, and your brother's 16 and you're 18, and you let him drive and you navigate.
That's the way it goes. He's more faster than me and he's more committed than me, so I just sit back and let him do all the work.
Yeah, good. Wiser older brother, sit back and let him do all the work. So what kind of vehicle do you drive?
We drive a Razorback, and my dad, he's got another Razorback where he's just having trouble out in the truck, so I was just waiting here for him to see if he'd come up.
Awesome work. So where are you from, mate?
We're from Mackay up in Queensland, so it was a 3-hour drive for us, nice and easy.
Yeah, fantastic. So it is good to have this quality of race so close to home.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Like the last race we done was like under windy, and that was a fair challenge getting down and back. So yeah, it was all right.
Excellent. Tell me what you like about this track.
Oh, just everything about it. It's a hard challenge. You got to get used to it, conquer it, tackle it. Eventually, at the end of the day, you'll master it. So get the whoop sorted. Once you get your vehicle in the right position, you'll be sorted.
Excellent. Hey, I'll just try and grab the guys from Patriot Campers there. Hold on, I was going to try and corner him. Thank you so much, and thanks for being brave enough to come over and have a chat to us. Good luck tomorrow. I'm glad you've finished today. Yeah, thanks, mate. Okay, Patriot Campers are going over near the... Here we go. I'm going to call him back over here. Hello. Here we go. So we've got one of the guys from the media team from the Don River Dash. If he swings around, you can actually see for your followers all of the buggies and cars and vehicles that are actually pulled up here. Hello, how are you?
Morning. How you going?
How was that race today?
Epic. Like Don River it delivers every time. Obviously, I can say epic because we finished, yeah. And we ran good. We've come in, I think, second in class so far and 6 outright. That's what it looks like at the moment. So, yeah, stoked. The track here, unbelievable. It's just exactly what we want. The truck behaved. My team done an amazing job in prepping the truck. And we got it back. So, yeah, great day. Amazing day.
Excellent. So you got to finish, but I don't know about your boys. How did they go? Talk to us about that. That's why I wanted you to come over, because you've had a little bit of problem with your buggy, haven't you? Well, I don't know. Excuse my ignorance here. I don't know if you call it a buggy. Please correct me.
Yeah, look, it's definitely a buggy. The 10 car that the Twins are running in this weekend, it's the second outing. So we bought that car used. We've done a full chassis down prep on it, full rebuild. We've changed the engine in it. We've changed a lot of things in it. It was always going to take a couple of races to shake it down. So whilst we're gutted. It's disappointing that the Twins didn't come in with a brand new car. It's to be expected as well. So all it did actually was it's melted a relay. That's it. So melted the relay, knocked out the thermo fans, gone into limp mode. They brought it back in. My team was straight on it. They put a brand new relay in it, topped the thing up with water, and the Twins are back out on track now. So hopefully they'll bring it in. They'll finish this afternoon. We'll whip those relays out. We'll go to something a bit heavier, and hopefully they'll have a good day tomorrow. And maybe that'll be the last bug ironed out for the 10 car, and then we'll see the Twins start moving through the field, hopefully.
So I was in the near vicinity when you and your brother were talking to the Twins this morning, giving them a bit of a brief about the track and what to watch out for and grabbing those flags. What's the flag thing? You know, you've got to go 2 or 3 flags. They've got to go around 2 or 3 times on the track. It's a little bit tricky when they finish. So I assume you're talking about the flags here over in the spectator area. Talking about the spectator area, I was talking to you last night. Tell me what you love about this race.
Look, I think the biggest appeal to this race for us is we're in the Whitsundays. We're on the Great Barrier Reef. My daughter and I yesterday, we woke up at 5:30 in the morning, went down to the beach, watched the sunrise, had a swim, and then at 11 o'clock I'm in my trophy truck. You know what I mean? Like, where else in the world could you possibly do that? So I think the town of Bowen putting it on for everybody out here and welcoming everyone in. The community's got behind the race. Obviously, the council are definitely behind the race. The Whitsundays, whatever they are, regulators, they're behind the race, and tourism. And so I think all the competitors and spectators are behind the race. And it's not a shadow of doubt in my mind from the first year that I came here, this will be the premier race here in Australia. It has to be. You know, it's just got too much going for it, and we'll support it for as long as we can. And being in our home state, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that for us. This is what it's all about for off-road racing for us, and the Don River Dash brings that all together.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time. You gave myself and our youth group some time last night, I just got home and I personally was such a buzz. But thank you so much for your time. Good luck with your racing, and any parting comments. Tell us, what part of that race do you really like?
What do I really like? I like tomorrow on lap 3 when the holes are half a metre deep and they're 2 metres apart, and the 40s and that trophy truck just starts working. That's tomorrow's really where it's because the track changes every lap. You know what I mean? And that's That's the biggest appeal to racing in this sort of terrain. Every single lap it's different. The water moves, the ruts move, the holes move, and the lines move, you know, depending on who's in front of you. I mean, we put a little bit of work into our recon, and we've got alternate lines, and my brother pulled a couple of them out of his hat today, so we got it up into the dust, into the traffic, and he's like, mate, pull left, we'll take the outside lane, and we'll go on the outside lane and come around a couple of side-by-sides, and it's, you know, it's just, it's everything that you want in off-road racing. This is as good as it gets as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to let you get back to your team, and I'm going to see if I can corner a couple of other people over here in the crowd. So if you see some guys or girls, actually, I wouldn't mind speaking to a couple of the girls, the female racers. So Sarah, I don't know if you can hear me. Anna Bentley, she came through in the blue. 418. Yeah. I can't travel too far from here because of the radio mic, but if you come across them, can you send them down?
I'm going to see if I can find her.
Champion, thank you very much. Okay, come over here, Cameron. Quick. I'm going to corner one of our local legends here, Cameron Rogers. He's organising all the sweeps in the middle of the river. Hello, Cameron. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate. How you going?
Good. You're so impressed that I just saw you and called you over, aren't you?
Yeah, I seen you point at me and I was like, great.
I'll get you to turn around a bit, Cameron, because we've got a media fella, Mick, in front of us, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. You've supported this event right from the start.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Tell us what you do in the background.
Well, it's a bit of prep leading up to the race. We organise, pretty much just help each other out with everything, getting it ready. The prep to the race, the days leading up to it, putting all the flags in the rivers and everything after they mark the track. And, just making sure everyone's got all the help they need to do their jobs as well.
So what's your job today, though?
So today we started pretty early. We started about 5 o'clock and we run the complete track all the way around, up and back, just to make sure the track's clear of any debris or anything that's happened, or there's any anything in the way there. And then we clear the track with the clerks so they can run it. And then during the day we go up and down the track and just make sure that if there's anyone falling off their bike and they're not seen, or anyone in their car that's broken down, we can get the message across a lot quicker than the recovery fellas, just to make sure that everyone's got all the help they need as soon as possible.
So you spend a lot of hours in the middle of this track both days, don't you?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I think last year we racked up about 600 kilometres for the 2 days. So, yeah, no complaints there at all.
And how many teams would we have in the river of you guys, the sweeps and the recovery crews?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm not sure about the recovery crew, but we picked up about 11 buggies I've got running today, which is excellent, really good. And they're all volunteers from the local area and stretching a little bit. There is a crew up from Brisbane actually just to sweep for the weekend, so that's amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. Cameron, I'm going to let you go because you're going to get some lunches to drop off to the medics for us because they didn't get them in time this morning. So this is some of the jobs that our volunteers do in the background just to keep this event going. So thanks, Cameron. Sandwiches are in that off-road racing caravan there. Thanks, mate.
Hannah's just in the toilet.
Okay, Hannah's going to be with us shortly. But how good is this setup here? So I don't know if we can swing back around. Can you swing back around and just scoot up here? This is all the spectator areas. I reckon there would be that's almost a kilometre, if not just shy of a kilometre of viewing for all the spectators down there. And that's right in front of the finish line. And they've got an awesome jump that the McDonald team's built there right in front of the finishing line for the spectators to actually see. If we just have a look over here, we've got one of our officials. He's actually making sure everybody's aware that there's another vehicle coming into the pit. He's just given them some instructions, some traffic control to slow down so they can come in very, very gently and quietly to make sure it's safe. So there's some more of our volunteers. He's actually retired, ex-council, retired. And he volunteers his time for this event. Thank you very much. And Courtney. Hey, Courtney. Okay, she was trying to run away. Courtney Muir from the Burdekin Motorcycles team. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
How was that track? First time you're in the truck?
Yeah, so this is our first event in our new truck. Last lap was starting to get a little bit rough, but that's just how it goes, I guess.
So you're Navi for your dad, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And how did it go today?
Yeah, good. We had a drama-free run, so we're still getting used to, obviously we've come out of a Class 10, so we're still learning how to drive it. So, yeah, it was good. We had no issues, so we'll see what tomorrow brings.
That's absolutely fantastic. Anything else you want to add? You guys are very big supporters of this event, but you're very big supporters of off-road racing. You're a part of the Vertical Off-Road Racing Club, which you guys work with our local guys to get this event going. Bowen and the Whitsundays couldn't have got this event going without the support of you guys.
Yeah, so we, our business, Vertical Motorcycles, we obviously are sponsored for this race, and then both Dad and I are in the club on the committee. So, yeah, we're pretty busy and obviously heavily involved in the race, so it's good to see so many competitors here this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you for your time. Get back to the truck and your dad, and I'll hopefully corner you later. Thanks, mate. You're a champion. Okay, we've got Hannah over here. Hannah's going to make a wander over with her. I'm going to assume it's her dad, is it?
Hayden.
Sorry?
Hayden? Come on over. Hello, my name's Michelle. I'm from Stackeroth Farms. I don't know much about racing, all right? The thing I'm good at is talking. So that's why I've got this. Hannah, you're very young. How old are you?
I'm 21.
You are 21. Who's the gentleman standing beside you?
My dad.
Hello?
Major sponsor.
Major sponsor? Okay. What's your name?
Hayden Bentley.
Hayden Bentley. Okay. What's it? You're navigating for your daughter, is that right?
No, I'm driving as well, and Hannah's doing awesome. She's driving the 418 truck, and I think she's up in about 9th, I think, overall. So, no, she's smashing it, doing awesome.
We've got a new mare here in Bowen, Julie Hall, so we've got our first female mare. And she was interested to find out if there was any females that are actually racing this weekend, and here we go. And Hannah's doing a brilliant job. The boys up there, Dan did a bit of a shout out for you going around to all of their followers online there. So they've got Dirtbags Racing, I think it is, podcast. And first time I've heard of you. So is this the first time your event here in Bowen, or have you raced before?
I haven't raced here before, but I've raced some little club events at home in Fink this year.
Fink? Wow. So firstly, where's home?
Home is Port Pirie near Adelaide in South Australia.
Okay, so when would you have had to have left home to arrive here in the Whitsundays?
I actually flew up. I'm in Adelaide for uni at the moment, so I flew up Wednesday, but the boys left Monday and got down so we could do some pre-running on Friday.
Yeah, awesome. So you did the pre-run in the river yesterday?
Yeah, I did pre-running in the river yesterday.
What do you think of the race?
It's very different to anything I've ever done. Obviously, I'm still pretty new at this, so lots of learning with my driving, but it's so much fun. It's really good out there.
Yeah, excellent. How proud are you as a dad that your daughter's getting into your sport?
Yeah, very. I have to remind her of team rules, I reckon.
And tell me, what are those team rules? Not allowed to beat dad?
No, have fun. I'm being silly. So she's driving amazing. She's had a tough run the last 2 or 3 races with car issues and so on. So it's good. The car's, so far so good, and she's driving amazing. So.
Yeah, awesome. And it looks like you've got a really good team behind you, Hannah.
Yeah, no, a lot of support with obviously my brothers out there too, and mum, and all the team helping get my car ready because I made it a bit of a mess at the last race. So fixed it up, and we're out here now.
Now, most 21-year-olds, if they crash their car, they get into a bit of strife. What happens here on the track?
I say, well done, you're having a crack.
I thought that might be a bit of a different response as a parent. So good luck for the race tomorrow. Welcome to the Whitsundays. This is the first time you've been here?
Yeah, I haven't been here before, so no.
Are you going to get a couple of days downtime to actually have a look around, or are you going to put that on your schedule for next year?
I'm not sure, maybe next year, but Mum and Dad have been having a look and sending me photos, making me jealous. It looks nice.
Wonderful. I think that the Whitsundays and Bowen especially is the place to not only race but to holiday as well. So you can all come up, do your race, and then come back for a long weekend in the weeks to come. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I jumped the start. I've been up here for a couple of weeks having a look around, enjoying it, helping the local economy. So if the mayor's listening, it's awesome up here and a great race, and thanks for all the support. It takes a lot of work, and normally there's a small group of 5 or 10 people that do the majority, but on the day there's hundreds. And thank you to everyone, whether you're out there holding a flag or whatever you're doing. Thank you for the effort you put in so we can all get out here and have some fun.
Yeah, wonderful. So you said you're a major sponsor of Hannah. Is that right? And that's been from birth, hasn't it? Not just with racing.
Yeah, and I got a feeling it's only just started.
Mate, you created the beast is all I got to say.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And well done. Well done to you. Congratulations, and we'll keep an eye out and give you a shout out tomorrow, yeah?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My phone's about to go flat.
So I think we're pretty well done here. We're going to come back this afternoon for the bikes. Most of the vehicles have come back in from the race today, but the action does not stop now. We've got bikes this afternoon, and then we're back here tomorrow again for the final, the 300 kilometres, the second run of it, and then also with the bikes. But I tell you what's a little bit crazy is all of those bike riders. They do this track without a roll cage. They are absolutely mad. So it's going to be interesting this afternoon to see all those bikes and see how that track goes for them, because these guys would have left a lot of their marks and a lot of their whoops, and the track would have changed dramatically compared to yesterday if some of these bikes have actually done a pre-run. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm going to hand back to Dan, if you can hear me over there. Champion, back over to you, Dan. Sorry to take over that microphone.
No, excellent. It was always good to have a chat to some of the racers and to hear their experiences out on the track. And again, big shout out to Mickey B's Media. I tell you what, you're killing it over there, big dog. He can not only tune a phone Motec to perfection, but I tell you what, he runs an iPhone as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever wanted to see a loose group, this is the Dirtbags podcast. So again, we are running through a few of the cars. We'll have a little bit of a chill time now. I'll leave the show going at the moment, but again, ladies and gentlemen, more cars will be coming in. There is all the updated times on Race Monitor. So if you want to have a look at the times and watch where your favorite races are, there's plenty going on. And again, the bike racing will get underway shortly, but there is some halftime entertainment soon, care of Mickey Thompson, which is going to be very exciting down here in front. So don't go away if you want to win some, what do I want to say, merchandise.
Well, I'm just thinking, I just did that whole cross without a hat on my head. Rookie error.
Very, very rookie.
Well, I didn't realise I was going to go down there. I didn't realise I was going to start talking again. I should learn, hey. Oh, thank you. Thank you for a bottle of water. So I might need to find some of that merch and see if someone's got a hat, eh?
Well, Mickey Thompson are good for it. That's what I'm telling you. Great sponsor of the race. And again, talking about that, we'll go through Comiskey Mining Services are our major sponsor of the Don River Dash 300. We've also got Mercedes, Whitsundays Ag Services, Patriot Campers, Mickey Thompson, the Ergon Network, Pat McDonald Earth Moving. We also have DFI, Design Fab Industries. Those guys have all that gear. They're a bit of a late sponsor.
So where are they from?
Brisbane area.
Yeah, fantastic.
Tabs,
like the reverse format that we run here.
suspension components.
I know what suspension means.
Starts off the start line last.
I
Good job.
I love
get through the pack.
Like tabbing out your chassis, you know, like as if you've got to put a control arm mount or a sway bar. They sell custom sway bars for full
sway bars too. Like,
amazing.
The thing I love about this
on top
is
of
how
that, you've got to have a clean run
you are
out on the
with me.
racetrack.
The first couple of years I was brought in because I'm known for talking.
Listen, I don't know if you know my brother, but I've got to be a
both
patient man.
We've run, so pretty keen to keep it.
Is that why he's not on the microphone?
It really is.
It's pretty but I've been brought in for the first couple of years to talk about our sponsors and put that link as to why it's so good here in the Whitsundays and in Bowen, and the awesome community that we've got and the sponsors that are getting behind the sport. But I've come back with a lot more. I'm actually learning a little bit about this sport. I probably should study up. Yeah. So Dan and Josh are talking a few things over here with their live feed, but I'm going to go through the rest of the sponsors here, and a lot of these are our local guys. Pat McDonald Earth Moving, they're one of our platinum or gold sponsors, and that's Dale. He was racing today. He was in the Liberty. Hello, how are you? Are you good? We've got some of our local kids down here coming up to the radio tower and giving us a nice little wave. I think I saw you on TV the other day. Were you on the Weekender program out at the farm picking tomatoes? Yeah, so we've had the Weekender come to town in June and they did some segments on Bowen and the Whit Sundays. So go back and have a look at those segments. Our farm's on it. But also we've got Bird's Fish Bar. They catch fish straight from the ocean, gets off the trawler, inside, cooked, there on the spot, which is just fantastic. But we're going to talk about our sponsors now. Whit Sunday Regional Council, we had our councillor Michelle Wright up here earlier on talking about the council getting behind this event and the work that they do, and a lot of their staff actually volunteer this weekend for the actual event. So a lot with road closures and just setting up things, especially out there at the showgrounds. Our silver sponsors, Heavy Logistics Mechanical, HLM. So do we know where HLM's from? No? That's something I'm going to find out for the next cross. Burdekin Motorcycles, I was speaking to Courtney over there, Courtney Muir. They're racing and they are a part of the Burdekin Off-Road Motors Cycle Club, and they've got Burdekin Motorcycles, which is only about an hour and 10 outside of Bowen. We've got Tropic Petroleum. Those guys are based here in Bowen as well, in North Queensland, and they're very good supporters of our wider community, but also this event. Padman Water Solutions. Now, I saw quite a bit of merch going around the showgrounds last night with Padman Water Solutions. Our youth group were handing a lot of stickers and different things out last night. We've just got another buggy come back through. So 905 Speed Solutions. They've come back up through.
So, Michelle, that's actually, you're talking to Aaron Habe before.
Yes.
That's one of his cars that he builds. They've got 4 Elements here. So that is the last of the Elements home. So all 4 of them are home. I will admit, I'm going to call it, they've obviously had some mechanical dramas to be on track for that period of time. And talking about that, there's a car going through. Yeah, it's going through. It's number 37, and it is an Ursig car, so another Australian car, which is very cool.
So King Chrome's going right up the middle there. So does that mean that they might have had a little bit of an issue there with their vehicle?
Yeah, unfortunately, listen, they've travelled all the way up from down south. It's a new car. I'd say they've had some issues. Obviously not terminal because they're still travelling. Hopefully we see them racing again tomorrow. But they have definitely had an issue as we didn't see them do the 3 laps.
No, and I tell you what, that car looks spectacular. 1105, so they're coming back through. K&T Bailey.
So,
Bailey,
Michelle,
Daly.
Sorry, just a little bit of information on that Ursig car. It's actually a trailing arm car, which is really cool too. Designed and worked with Luke and an American company, and those guys, it's a bit different because most of the buggies run I don't know, what would you call it, Josh? But they run a different style of rear arm, very much a Volkswagen style, whereas that has a 5-link. It's got uppers, lowers, trailing arms everywhere. It's an interesting design, but it makes it handle really big. Rough stuff very well. So it'll be interesting when they get that dialed in, and Ursigs are on the money, so I reckon they'll be dialed soon.
So you're saying it's like these guys that I was talking to earlier, they get a new buggy or a new truck and they've got to iron the kinks out each race that they go. So I've made a little bit of an error. I've had a bit of a brain snap because I was asking you about HLM and I'm thinking, I know that, and it is actually a Bowen company, and I tell you, I'm really sorry. HLM's from Bowen. So Heavy Logistics and Mechanical, they're actually located down Collinsville Road. So they do a lot of work
Michelle,
in the mines.
you know how you asked me about HLM before? They're actually local. They're just from Bowen, mate. So, yeah, actually we've got one here. And listen, I wanted to tell you that info, but being from Yeppoon.
Yeah, I should know better, but I've engaged my mouth before I've engaged my brain, something I don't do very often. Yeah, I don't know about that. But a shout out to Patty and the team from HLM. I sincerely apologise, guys. So you're getting a little bit more of a plug because of my error. So, but they do a lot of work out in the mines and mechanical services for the mines. Abbott Point Operations, they are fantastic. Abbott Point, their planning and engineering team, they've got like 6 teams from their planning and engineering team that are participating in this weekend's event. Now, without putting the heebie-jeebies on them, those 6 teams, as an employer, if something happens to them, they're not going to be a lot of planning happening for the next couple of months. But if they're part of an engineering team, that's going to be pretty good for what they're racing and fixing what they're doing and then getting their dynamics right for the race. So thanks to Abbott Point, they've also contributed some things to the packs that we've given all the competitors this weekend. We've got RGM Maintenance is another of our silver sponsors. And we've got Dynamic Wheel Co. Apparently they're the hottest and toughest. And then we've got North Queensland Hard Facing. I do believe that they're from Mackay. Bowen Tire Mechanical, Tony and the team from Bowen Tire Mechanical, they've got their good friends Mickey Thompson's here, and they all went to the local school on Friday, and they were able to show the school kids the Mickey Thompson truck there, which was absolutely fantastic. ARB 4x4 accessories, AMX, all motorcycle accessories, and we've also got, I've got to have to do this plug because Dan's left me with the microphone. Stackeroff Farm. So we're located out the Delta and little roadside stall. So if you're going past, pick something up out of the stall. Widow's Nursery. So Widow's Nursery actually supplies seedlings to the farming businesses around our community and a lot of other communities. They're a bronze sponsor. We've got Refrigerated Technologies, or RT. Steve Von Pine's actually got a trophy truck. He had a bit of a issue with his truck yesterday and blew it up. So, again, he's not a racer this year, but hopefully third time lucky next year. We've got Whitsunday Jet Ski Tours. I tell you, it's a great weekend to get out on the water. And the Whitsunday Jet Ski Tours do some fantastic work. And they've actually won some awards in tourism for the work that they do in relation to the tours. We've got Land Accountants, Chris Land. He's a member of the Burdekin Off-Road Motorcycle Club, and he lives here in beautiful Bowen and does a lot of work to get this event up and going. And he's one of the integral players early on, about 5 years ago when they first thought of the event. Danny Brazel, DJ Brazel, earth moving truck and tilt tray hire. He's actually just over here at the back of the Delta. And here we go. Josh, this four-wheel driver, I remember it coming through on its second lap. He's got one more lap to go, or is he finished? He's pulling in. He seems to be blowing a bit of black smoke out the back of that. The BDJ loves it, I hear. Absolutely fantastic. Well done. A chef's kiss for 798. Good old John Deere truck. We've also got the Castle Motor Lodge. So that's where we had the sponsors event on Thursday night, which was fantastic. BQC Quarries and BIH, Bowen Industrial Hire, both locals and local businesses that get behind a lot of things in our community. We've also got our additional supporters, Corella Farms, and I was mentioning before that they actually changed their planting schedule so as they're not picking and having to go through the river and interfere with this race. So thanks a lot to Leanne and Wayne and the team over there at Corella Farms. They grow some mighty fine red tomatoes, and we actually stock them in our stall as well. So they support us as other farmers. Coastal Edge Constructions, and we've got Tropical Exposure and Repco. So that's a big list of supporters for the Don River Dash 300. And thank you all for your support. And it really certainly takes a team to make events like this happen. So we might have a little bit of a break now. Rest the vocal cords until the motorbikes start this afternoon. And I'm going to go and find the team from Mickey Thompson. And we need to recharge batteries, apparently. And look at that fine specimen. For all of the spectators, look down onto the track now. The fine specimen of a human being coming up there is our very own Dan Curran. And he is a part of Off-Road Cartel. and they do some live streaming, and it's dirtbags_podcast. So if you want to get online, get onto their podcast. They actually have some cameras up the river, and they're doing some live streaming, which is fantastic. And they've even had people from Mexico, Baja, actually get in, and they're following today. They're actually listening. Some of the big fellas over there that are getting ready and
like it's done of this Congratulations.
Turn off and I turn around. I'm lost and I cannot be found. I scream, no one hears a sound. I can't save me now, no. Mistakes I made, the pain I face, there's nothing remains. Can't save me, no. Mistakes I made, the pain I face, there's nothing remains. Can't save me, no. Stand back, I'm a ticking bomb. Take cover cause I'm going off. Please, run faster than you ever have. Can't save me now, no. I don't know if I can keep you safe. It's best that you stay far away. Believe me when you hear me say, can't save me now, no. Mistakes I made, the pain I face, there's nothing remains. Can't save me, no. Mistakes I made, the pain I face, there's nothing remains. Can't save me, no. Can't save me, no. I can't save me. Renegade, full speed like a runaway train. Listen, baby. Mistakes I made, the pain I face, there's nothing